Time is the most precious resource we have, yet it's the one we often squander without a second thought. We wake up every day, go through the motions, and somehow hours slip away, leaving us wondering where the day went. We tell ourselves that tomorrow will be different, that we'll start living the life we truly want, but somehow tomorrow never comes. The world we live in is full of distractions, from the constant buzz of notifications on our phones to the endless stream of entertainment options. It's easy to get lost in the noise. We chase after things that don't truly matter, trying to fill a void that only seems to grow bigger with each passing day. We find ourselves stuck in a cycle of procrastination, fear, and self-doubt, unable to break free and live the life we were meant to live. But deep down, we know there's more to life than this. We know that we are capable of so much more, that we have the potential to achieve greatness, to find peace, and to live with purpose. What we lack is not the ability, but the wisdom to use our time wisely, to focus on what truly matters, and to let go of the things that hold us back. Imagine for a moment what your life could look like if you stopped wasting time. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of purpose, knowing exactly what you need to do to move closer to your goals. Imagine feeling a deep sense of peace, free from the anxiety that comes from trying to keep up with the demands of the world. Imagine building strong, meaningful relationships that enrich your life and bring you joy. This is not just a dream, it's a reality that you can create. The power to change your life lies within you, and the key to unlocking that power is found in the wisdom of Stoicism. Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it's a way of life, a guide to living with clarity, purpose, and resilience. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, to let go of what we cannot, and to live each day as if it were our last. The ancient Stoics understood that life is short, and that the only way to make the most of it is to live with intention. They believed that time is our most valuable asset, and that wasting it is the greatest tragedy of all. They taught that true fulfillment comes not from chasing after material wealth or status, but from cultivating inner peace, wisdom, and virtue. In today's fast-paced world, the teachings of Stoicism are more relevant than ever. We are constantly bombarded with messages telling us that we need more money, more success, more possessions. But the truth is, these things will never bring us lasting happiness. What truly matters is how we spend our time, how we choose to live each day, and how we respond to the challenges that life throws our way. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the demands of modern life, to feel like there's never enough time to do everything we need to do. But the reality is that we have all the time we need if we learn to use it wisely. By applying the principles of Stoicism, we can free ourselves from the traps of procrastination, fear, and self-doubt, and start living the life we were meant to live. Consider the moments you've wasted on things that don't matter, the hours spent scrolling through social media, the days lost in worry and anxiety, the opportunities missed because of fear or indecision. Now imagine what your life would be like if you could reclaim that time, if you could use it to build something meaningful, to pursue your passions, to connect with the people you love. The journey to a more fulfilling life begins with a single step: the decision to stop wasting time. This decision is not always easy. It requires courage, discipline, and a willingness to confront the habits and beliefs that have been holding you back. But it's a decision that will change your life in ways you can't even imagine. As you begin this journey, remember that it's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about making small, consistent changes that add up over time. It's about learning to say no to the things that don't serve you and yes to the things that do. It's about letting go of the need to control everything and embracing the flow of life with grace and resilience. You don't need to have all the answers right now. You don't need to know exactly what the future holds. All you need is the willingness to take that first step, to commit to living a life that is true to who you are, and to trust that with each step you take, you are moving closer to the life you were meant to live. Life is too short to waste on things that don't matter. It's too precious to spend in a state of constant distraction, fear, or regret. You have the power to make a change, to live with purpose, and to create a life that you are proud of. The wisdom of Stoicism is here to guide you on this journey, to help you navigate the challenges and uncertainties of life with strength and clarity. So take a deep breath and imagine what your life could be like if you stopped wasting time and started living. Imagine the joy, the peace, the fulfillment that comes from living each day with intention. Imagine the strength and resilience you will build as you let go of the things that no longer serve you. Imagine the relationships you will nurture, the passions you will pursue, and the impact you will make on the world. This is your life, and it's time to start living it to the fullest. The path may not always be easy, but it will be worth it. Every moment is a gift, and every day is an opportunity to become the person you were meant to be. Embrace the journey, trust in yourself, and remember that the power to change your life lies within you. The time to start is now. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the days you once took for granted have slipped away, one by one, leaving behind nothing but a lingering sense of regret. You think about the countless moments spent on distractions, on things that, in the grand scheme of life, don't truly matter. You wonder how many opportunities you've missed, how much joy you've forfeited, all because you were caught in the web of time-wasting habits. It's a sobering thought, one that stirs something deep inside, a yearning to do better, to be better, to live a life that's not just filled with busy work, but with meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. The truth is, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, but how we choose to spend them is what sets us apart. For some, those hours are spent in pursuit of goals, in building something meaningful, in creating a life they love. For others, they're lost to procrastination, to fear, to the endless distractions that modern life throws our way. But what if you could change that? What if, instead of letting time slip through your fingers, you could grasp it, shape it, and use it to create a life that's truly fulfilling? This is where the wisdom of Stoicism comes in, a philosophy that has guided some of history's greatest minds, teaching them not only how to live, but how to live well. At its core, Stoicism is about focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. It's about making the most of the present moment, about being intentional with your time, and about living in a way that's aligned with your deepest values. It's not just about surviving life, it's about thriving, about waking up each day with a sense of purpose, about living a life that's rich in meaning and fulfillment. In a world that's constantly pulling you in different directions, where the demands of work, social media, and everyday responsibilities can leave you feeling scattered and overwhelmed, Stoicism offers a way to cut through the noise. It teaches you how to eliminate the time-wasting habits that drain your energy and focus, and how to replace them with practices that bring clarity, peace, and a deep sense of purpose. One of the key principles of Stoicism is the idea of living in accordance with nature. This doesn't mean retreating to a cabin in the woods, but rather living in a way that's true to your nature as a human being. It's about recognizing that time is finite, that every moment is a gift, and that wasting it is not just unwise, it's a disservice to yourself and to the life you've been given. To live in accordance with nature is to understand that your time is your most valuable resource. It's more precious than money, more fleeting than success, and once it's gone for good. This realization is at the heart of the Stoic approach to time management. It's about being mindful of how you spend your time, about choosing activities and pursuits that align with your values, and about letting go of the things that don't contribute to your growth, happiness, or well-being. But recognizing the value of time is only the first step. The real challenge lies in breaking free from the habits and behaviors that cause you to waste it. This is where the Stoic practice of self-discipline comes into play. Self-discipline is not about forcing yourself to do things you hate, but about cultivating the inner strength to choose what's right over what's easy. It's about developing the ability to say no to distractions, to resist the pull of procrastination, and to stay focused on the tasks and activities that truly matter. Imagine what your life could be like if you could master this skill. Imagine the sense of accomplishment you would feel at the end of each day, knowing that you had used your time wisely, that you had made progress toward your goals, that you had spent your time in ways that brought you joy and fulfillment. This is not just a pipe dream, it's a reality that you can create one step at a time by applying the principles of Stoicism to your daily life. One of the most powerful tools in the Stoic toolkit is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present in the moment, of paying attention to what you're doing, and of savoring the experience of living. When you're mindful, you're less likely to waste time because you're fully engaged in whatever you're doing. Whether you're working on a project, spending time with loved ones, or simply enjoying a quiet moment alone, mindfulness allows you to make the most of each moment, to truly live rather than just go through the motions. Mindfulness also helps you to recognize when you're slipping into time-wasting habits. It brings awareness to the choices you make, allowing you to catch yourself when you're about to engage in activities that don't serve you. With mindfulness, you can interrupt the cycle of procrastination, redirect your focus, and choose to spend your time on things that truly matter. But mindfulness alone is not enough. To truly stop wasting time, you need to cultivate a sense of purpose. Purpose is what gives your life direction. It's what drives you to get up in the morning and keep moving forward, even when the going gets tough. Without a clear sense of purpose, it's easy to fall into the trap of drifting through life, of spending your time on things that don't really matter because you don't know what does. The Stoics believed that everyone has a unique purpose, a reason for being, that is aligned with their nature and their values. This purpose is not something that you discover by accident. It's something that you create through introspection, reflection, and a deep understanding of yourself. When you're clear on your purpose, every decision you make, every action you take, is guided by that purpose. You're less likely to waste time because you know exactly what you're working toward, and you're motivated to make the most of every moment. But finding your purpose is not always easy. It requires you to dig deep, to ask yourself the tough questions, to be honest about what you truly want out of life. It requires you to look beyond the superficial goals that society often imposes on you, like wealth, status, or fame, and to focus on what truly brings you joy, fulfillment, and a sense of meaning. This process can be uncomfortable, but it's also incredibly liberating. When you know your purpose, you're no longer swayed by the opinions of others or by the distractions of the world. You're grounded, focused, and ready to live your life with intention. Once you've identified your purpose, the next step is to align your actions with that purpose. This means being intentional about how you spend your time, choosing activities and pursuits that move you closer to your goals, and letting go of the things that don't. It's about being proactive rather than reactive, about taking control of your time rather than letting it slip away. One way to do this is to create a daily routine that supports your purpose. A routine is not just a series of tasks, it's a framework that helps you to stay focused, disciplined, and on track. When you have a routine, you're less likely to waste time because you know exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it. Your routine becomes a roadmap that guides you through your day, helping you to stay aligned with your purpose and to make the most of every moment. But a routine is only as effective as the habits that support it. Habits are the building blocks of your routine. They're the actions that you take consistently, day in and day out, that shape your life and determine your success. The Stoics understood the power of habits, and they placed great emphasis on cultivating habits that promote wisdom, virtue, and inner peace. One of the most important habits you can develop is the habit of reflection. Reflection is the practice of looking back on your day, your actions, and your choices, and asking yourself whether they align with your purpose. It's about being honest with yourself about where you're wasting time, where you're falling short, and where you need to make changes. Reflection is not about beating yourself up for your mistakes. It's about learning from them and using that knowledge to do better in the future. Another key habit is the habit of gratitude. Gratitude is the practice of appreciating the good things in your life, of focusing on what you have rather than what you lack. When you're grateful, you're less likely to waste time because you're more aware of the value of what you have. You're more likely to make the most of your time because you understand that every moment is a gift, that every day is an opportunity to live your life to the fullest. Gratitude also helps you to stay positive and focused, even when things don't go as planned. Life is full of challenges, and it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go your way. But when you practice gratitude, you're able to see the silver lining in every situation, to find the good in the bad, and to keep moving forward with a sense of purpose and optimism. The Stoics also believed in the power of setting goals. Goals give you something to work toward. They provide direction, motivation, and a sense of accomplishment when you achieve them. But it's important to set the right kind of goals. Goals that are aligned with your purpose, that challenge you to grow, and that bring you closer to the life you want to live. When setting goals, it's important to be realistic. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of setting big, ambitious goals, but if those goals are too far out of reach, they can actually become a source of frustration and disappointment. Instead, focus on setting small, achievable goals that you can work toward on a daily basis. These small wins will build your confidence, keep you motivated, and help you to stay on track. Another important aspect of Stoic goal setting is the idea of detachment. The Stoics believed that while it's important to have goals, it's equally important to remain detached from the outcome. This doesn't mean that you don't care about achieving your goals. It means that you don't let the pursuit of those goals consume you. You do your best, but you accept that there are some things that are beyond your control, and you don't let those things derail you. Detachment also helps you to avoid the trap of perfectionism. Perfectionism is one of the biggest time wasters because it causes you to get stuck in a cycle of overthinking, second-guessing, and procrastination. When you're constantly striving for perfection, you're never satisfied with what you've done, and you end up wasting time trying to make everything just right. The Stoics understood that perfection is an illusion, and that the pursuit of it is a waste of time. Instead, they focused on progress, on doing their best, on learning from their mistakes, and on moving forward with purpose. One of the most powerful Stoic practices for eliminating time-wasting habits is the practice of visualization. Visualization is the process of imagining the future you want to create and then taking action to make that vision a reality. The Stoics used visualization to prepare themselves for challenges, to stay focused on their goals, and to cultivate a sense of inner strength and resilience. Visualization is not about daydreaming or wishful thinking. It's about mentally rehearsing the actions you need to take to achieve your goals. It's about seeing yourself succeed, overcoming obstacles, and staying on track, even when the going gets tough. When you visualize your goals, you're more likely to stay motivated, to make the right choices, and to use your time wisely. But visualization is not just about achieving external success. It's also about cultivating inner peace. The Stoics believed that true fulfillment comes not from external achievements, but from a sense of inner calm and contentment. Visualization can help you to cultivate this inner peace by helping you to focus on what truly matters, to let go of the things that don't, and to live each day with intention. Another important Stoic practice for eliminating time-wasting habits is the practice of gratitude journaling. Gratitude journaling is the act of writing down the things you're grateful for each day. This simple practice can have a profound impact on your life because it shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. It helps you to see the abundance in your life, to appreciate the small moments of joy, and to make the most of the time you have. Gratitude journaling also helps you to stay grounded in the present moment. When you're constantly thinking about the future or dwelling on the past, it's easy to lose track of time and to waste it on things that don't matter. But when you're focused on the present, on the here and now, you're more likely to use your time wisely, to engage fully in whatever you're doing, and to live your life with purpose and intention. The Stoics also believed in the power of community. They understood that we are social beings and that our relationships with others have a profound impact on our well-being and happiness. When you surround yourself with positive, supportive people, you're less likely to waste time because you're uplifted by their energy, encouraged by their example, and inspired by their success. But community is not just about having a group of friends or a network of contacts. It's about building meaningful, lasting relationships that enrich your life and support your growth. The Stoics believed that true friendship is based on mutual respect, trust, and a shared commitment to living a life of virtue. When you cultivate these kinds of relationships, you're less likely to waste time because you're motivated by the desire to be your best self, to contribute to the well-being of others, and to create a life that's meaningful and fulfilling. In the end, the key to stopping time-wasting habits and living a fulfilling life is to live with intention. It's about being mindful of how you spend your time, about choosing activities that align with your values, and about letting go of the things that don't. It's about being proactive rather than reactive, about taking control of your time rather than letting it slip away. And it's about recognizing that every moment is a gift, that every day is an opportunity to live your life to the fullest. So as you move forward on your journey, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Remember to focus on what you can control, to let go of what you cannot, and to live each day with purpose and intention. Remember that time is your most valuable resource and that wasting it is the greatest tragedy of all. And most importantly, remember that you have the power to change your life, to create a life that's rich in meaning and fulfillment, and to live each day as if it were your last. Imagine reaching the end of a long, chaotic day, feeling a sense of calm wash over you, a deep, unwavering peace that remains untouched by the noise and turmoil of the world around you. It's the kind of peace that many spend their lives searching for, but few truly find. A peace that comes not from the absence of problems, but from the presence of something greater, a quiet strength within you, an anchor in the storm. This peace is not something that happens by accident. It's not a fleeting feeling that comes and goes with the changing tides of life. It's a state of being that you can cultivate, a habit that you can nurture through deliberate practice and intention. And while it may seem elusive in a world that is constantly pulling you in different directions, it is within your reach. The Stoics understood this. They knew that true inner peace doesn't come from the external world, from the things we accumulate or the accolades we achieve. It comes from within, from how we choose to think, how we choose to act, and how we choose to respond to the challenges that life inevitably throws our way. Inner peace, according to the Stoics, is not just a byproduct of a well-lived life. It is the foundation of it. But how do you cultivate this kind of peace in a world that feels anything but peaceful? How do you maintain a sense of calm when everything around you seems to be in chaos? The answer lies in the daily habits you choose to practice. The small, seemingly insignificant actions that, when repeated consistently over time, shape your character, your mindset, and ultimately, your life. These habits are not about escaping the world or avoiding its challenges. They are about equipping yourself with the tools you need to face the world with courage, resilience, and grace. They are about creating a sanctuary within yourself, a place of refuge that you can return to no matter what is happening around you. They are about finding tranquility not in the absence of trouble, but in the midst of it. One of the most powerful habits for cultivating inner peace is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is more than just a polite thank you. It's a deep, heartfelt appreciation for the good in your life, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. When you practice gratitude, you shift your focus from what's missing to what's present, from what's wrong to what's right. This simple shift in perspective can have a profound impact on your state of mind, helping you to find peace even in the most challenging circumstances. Gratitude also helps you to stay grounded in the present moment. So much of our anxiety and unrest comes from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. But when you practice gratitude, you bring your attention back to the here and now, to the things that are good and true in your life right now. You begin to see the beauty in the ordinary, the blessings in the mundane, and the abundance that is already present in your life. This shift in focus not only brings you peace, but it also helps you to cultivate a sense of contentment and satisfaction, regardless of your external circumstances. Another powerful Stoic habit for cultivating inner peace is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present in the moment, of paying attention to what you're doing, and of experiencing life as it unfolds. When you're mindful, you're not caught up in the past or the future. You're fully engaged in the present. This presence of mind helps you to let go of worries, to release tension, and to find peace in the simple act of being. Mindfulness also helps you to cultivate a sense of inner stillness, a calm center that remains undisturbed by the chaos of the world around you. This inner stillness is not about suppressing your emotions or denying your feelings. It's about observing them without judgment, about allowing them to pass through you without getting caught up in them. It's about finding a place of calm within yourself, a place where you can retreat to whenever life feels overwhelming. But mindfulness is not just about sitting quietly or meditating. It's about bringing a sense of awareness and presence to everything you do. It's about being fully engaged in your work, in your relationships, in your daily activities. When you approach life with mindfulness, you begin to see the world differently. You become more aware of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, and you begin to make choices that are more aligned with your values and your purpose. This alignment brings a deep sense of peace, a sense of living in harmony with yourself and the world around you. Another essential habit for cultivating inner peace is the practice of self-discipline. Self-discipline is not about forcing yourself to do things you hate. It's about developing the inner strength to choose what's right over what's easy. It's about making decisions that are aligned with your values, even when those decisions are difficult. It's about creating a life that is guided by intention rather than by impulse. When you practice self-discipline, you take control of your life. You become the master of your time, your energy, and your focus. You're no longer at the mercy of distractions, temptations, or negative influences. Instead, you're able to direct your attention and your actions toward the things that truly matter. This sense of control brings a deep sense of peace, because you're no longer caught up in the chaos of the world around you. You're grounded in your own inner strength. But self-discipline is not just about control, it's also about letting go. The Stoics taught that true peace comes from accepting what you cannot change and focusing on what you can. This means letting go of the need to control everything, of the need to have everything go your way. It means accepting that life is unpredictable, that things will not always go according to plan, and that's okay. When you let go of the need to control, you free yourself from the stress and anxiety that comes from trying to force things to happen. You become more flexible, more adaptable, and more at peace with the natural flow of life. You learn to trust in the process, to have faith that things will work out as they're meant to, and to focus your energy on what you can do rather than on what you cannot. Another habit that is crucial for cultivating inner peace is the practice of setting boundaries. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or building walls. They're about creating a space where you can protect your peace, your energy, and your well-being. They're about knowing your limits, about recognizing when you need to say no, and about being okay with prioritizing your own needs. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It's about acknowledging that your time, your energy, and your peace of mind are valuable, and that it's okay to protect them. It's about recognizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and that in order to be the best version of yourself, you need to take care of yourself first. When you set boundaries, you create a buffer between yourself and the demands of the world. You create a space where you can recharge, where you can connect with yourself, and where you can find the peace that you need to face the challenges of life. This space is essential for maintaining your inner peace because it allows you to step back from the noise, to reflect on what's important, and to make choices that are aligned with your values and your purpose. Another powerful habit for cultivating inner peace is the practice of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about condoning the actions of others or pretending that nothing happened. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of anger, resentment, and bitterness. It's about letting go of the past, of the hurt that others have caused you, and of the mistakes you've made. When you practice forgiveness, you release the hold that the past has on you. You free yourself from the negative emotions that keep you stuck, and you open yourself up to the possibility of healing, growth, and peace. Forgiveness is not always easy, but it is always worth it, because it allows you to move forward with your life, unencumbered by the weight of the past. Forgiveness is also an act of self-compassion. It's about recognizing that you are human, that you make mistakes, and that it's okay to forgive yourself for those mistakes. It's about letting go of the harsh judgments you hold against yourself, and about treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and compassion that you would offer to a friend. This self-compassion is essential for cultivating inner peace, because it allows you to accept yourself as you are, without the need for perfection or the fear of failure. Another habit that can help you to cultivate inner peace is the practice of detachment. Detachment is not about withdrawing from the world or becoming indifferent to its challenges. It's about letting go of the need to control the outcome of every situation. It's about accepting that there are some things that are beyond your control and that it's okay to let them go. When you practice detachment, you free yourself from the anxiety and stress that comes from trying to force things to happen. You learn to trust in the natural flow of life, to accept that things will unfold as they're meant to, and to focus your energy on what you can do rather than on what you cannot. This sense of detachment brings a deep sense of peace, because you're no longer caught up in the struggle to control everything. You're able to let go, to surrender, and to find peace in the present moment. Detachment also helps you to cultivate a sense of inner freedom. When you're not attached to the outcome of every situation, you're free to live your life with a sense of spontaneity, curiosity, and openness. You're free to explore new possibilities, to take risks, and to embrace the unknown. This sense of freedom is essential for cultivating inner peace, because it allows you to live your life with a sense of joy, wonder, and adventure. Another habit that can help you to cultivate inner peace is the practice of acceptance. Acceptance is not about resigning yourself to a life of mediocrity. It's about embracing the reality of your situation and finding peace within it. It's about letting go of the need to change everything and about finding contentment in the present moment. When you practice acceptance, you free yourself from the frustration and disappointment that comes from wanting things to be different than they are. You learn to appreciate what you have, to make the most of your situation, and to find joy in the simple things. This sense of acceptance brings a deep sense of peace, because you're no longer caught up in the struggle to change everything. You're able to let go, to relax, and to find contentment in the present moment. Acceptance also helps you to cultivate a sense of resilience. When you accept the reality of your situation, you're better able to adapt to it, to find creative solutions, and to make the best of it. This sense of resilience is essential for cultivating inner peace, because it allows you to face life's challenges with a sense of strength, courage, and grace. Finally, another habit that is essential for cultivating inner peace is the practice of humility. Humility is not about putting yourself down or denying your worth. It's about recognizing your limitations, acknowledging your mistakes, and being open to learning and growth. It's about letting go of the need to be right, to be perfect, or to have all the answers. When you practice humility, you free yourself from the pressure to be something you're not. You're able to accept yourself as you are, with all your flaws and imperfections, and to find peace in the knowledge that you are enough, just as you are. This sense of humility brings a deep sense of peace, because you're no longer caught up in the struggle to prove yourself. You're able to relax, to let go, and to find contentment in the present moment. Humility also helps you to cultivate a sense of connection with others. When you're humble, you're able to see the value in others, to appreciate their strengths, and to learn from their experiences. This sense of connection is essential for cultivating inner peace, because it allows you to build meaningful, supportive relationships that enrich your life and bring you joy. In the end, cultivating inner peace is not about escaping the world or avoiding its challenges. It's about equipping yourself with the tools you need to face the world with courage, resilience, and grace. It's about creating a sanctuary within yourself, a place of refuge that you can return to no matter what is happening around you. It's about finding tranquility, not in the absence of trouble, but in the midst of it. As you move forward on your journey, remember that inner peace is not something that happens by accident. It's something that you can cultivate through deliberate practice and intention. It's about making the choice, day after day, to live with mindfulness, gratitude, self-discipline, and humility. It's about setting boundaries, letting go of what you cannot control, and finding contentment in the present moment. And most importantly, it's about recognizing that true peace comes from within, and that you have the power to create it, no matter what is happening around you. So take a deep breath and imagine what your life could be like if you could cultivate this kind of peace. Imagine the sense of calm, the sense of contentment, the sense of fulfillment that comes from living each day with intention and purpose. Imagine the strength and resilience you will build as you let go of the things that no longer serve you. Imagine the relationships you will nurture, the passions you will pursue, and the impact you will make on the world. This is your life, and it's time to start living it to the fullest. The path may not always be easy, but it will be worth it. Every moment is a gift, and every day is an opportunity to become the person you were meant to be. Embrace the journey, trust in yourself, and remember that the power to create inner peace lies within you. As you continue to embrace the Stoic practices that cultivate inner peace, there may be moments when that hard-won tranquility is tested, moments when the quiet calm you've nurtured is disrupted by the stirrings of fear and anxiety. These emotions, potent and often overwhelming, can feel like unwelcome intruders, threatening to unravel the sense of stability you've built. They have a way of creeping in during our most vulnerable moments, casting shadows over our thoughts and filling us with doubt and unease. But what if these powerful emotions, rather than being sources of distress, could become pathways to greater strength and resilience? What if, instead of being overwhelmed by them, you could meet fear and anxiety with the same steadiness you've applied to cultivating peace? The Stoics believed that this was not only possible, but essential. They understood that fear and anxiety are natural parts of the human experience, emotions that everyone encounters, but they also knew that these feelings do not have to control us. With the right tools, you can learn not just to manage these emotions, but to overcome them, transforming fear and anxiety into opportunities for personal growth and deeper self-understanding. The Stoic approach to fear and anxiety is not about denial or suppression. It's not about pretending that these emotions don't exist or trying to will them away. Instead, it's about acknowledging their presence, understanding their roots, and using Stoic wisdom to navigate through them. The goal is not to eliminate fear and anxiety, but to change your relationship with them, to reduce their impact on your life, and to build a mindset that allows you to live with greater courage, confidence, and peace. One of the most powerful Stoic techniques for dealing with fear and anxiety is the practice of negative visualization. This technique involves deliberately imagining the worst-case scenarios, those outcomes that you fear the most. At first glance, this might seem counterintuitive. Why would anyone want to dwell on their worst fears? But the purpose of negative visualization is not to scare yourself, but to prepare yourself. By facing your fears head-on in your mind, you strip them of their power. You come to realize that even in the face of your greatest fears, you have the strength to endure, to adapt, and to find a way forward. Negative visualization also serves another important purpose. It helps you appreciate the present. When you imagine what it would be like to lose something or someone important to you, or to face a difficult challenge, you become more aware of the value of what you have now. This awareness fosters a deep sense of gratitude, shifting your focus from anxiety about the future to appreciation for the present. Instead of being consumed by what might go wrong, you become more attuned to what is right in your life, right now. By regularly engaging in negative visualization, you also build mental resilience. The Stoics believed that preparing for the worst would help you face adversity with greater equanimity when it inevitably arrived. Instead of being caught off guard by life's challenges, you would be mentally ready, having already considered and accepted the potential outcomes. This preparation doesn't eliminate fear entirely, but it does reduce its intensity, allowing you to approach difficult situations with a clearer, more composed mind. But negative visualization is just one technique in the Stoic arsenal. Another essential practice is the art of detachment. Detachment, in the Stoic sense, is not about becoming indifferent or emotionally numb. It's about learning to let go of the things you cannot control. Fear and anxiety often stem from our desire to control the uncontrollable, from our need to predict and manage every aspect of our lives. When you practice detachment, you free yourself from this impossible burden. You begin to understand that while you cannot control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. Detachment allows you to approach life with a sense of calm and resilience, even in the face of uncertainty. It teaches you to accept that some things are beyond your influence and that it's okay to release them. This release does not mean giving up or resigning yourself to fate. Rather, it's an act of wisdom, an acknowledgement that your energy is better spent on the things within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your responses, than on worrying about things you cannot change. This shift in focus from the external to the internal is liberating, reducing the power that fear and anxiety hold over you and replacing it with a sense of empowerment and peace. To practice detachment effectively, it's essential to continually remind yourself of what truly lies within your control. The Stoics often use the metaphor of an archer to illustrate this point. An archer can control the preparation, the aim, and the release of the arrow, but once the arrow is in flight, its path is influenced by factors beyond the archer's control, like the wind or the target's movement. The Stoic archer does everything within his power to shoot accurately, but he remains detached from the outcome because he understands that the result is not entirely up to him. Applying this metaphor to your own life, you can approach your goals and challenges with the same mindset. Do your best in everything you undertake, but release the anxiety associated with the outcome. Whether you succeed or fail, what matters is that you acted with intention and integrity. This attitude not only reduces fear, but also encourages a deeper sense of peace, as you no longer tie your sense of self-worth to outcomes that are beyond your control. Another technique that the Stoics use to combat fear and anxiety is the practice of reframing. Reframing is about changing the way you perceive and interpret events. When something happens that triggers fear or anxiety, your immediate reaction might be to see it as a threat, a danger, or a sign that something is wrong. Reframing encourages you to look at the situation from a different perspective, to see it not as a threat, but as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to practice virtue. For instance, if you're anxious about an upcoming challenge, instead of viewing it as a potential failure, you might reframe it as a chance to test your skills, to prove your resilience, or to learn something new. This shift in perspective can transform your emotional response, reducing fear and anxiety and replacing them with a sense of determination and curiosity. Reframing allows you to take control of your narrative, to rewrite the story you tell yourself about what is happening and why, and to do so in a way that empowers rather than diminishes you. Reframing also helps to diminish the emotional intensity of fear and anxiety by putting situations into a broader context. The Stoics often advised seeing events as part of a larger whole, where individual challenges are simply moments within a longer journey. By adopting this wider perspective, you can reduce the immediate pressure of any given situation, understanding that it is one of many experiences that contribute to your overall growth. Consider how reframing might apply to a common source of anxiety: public speaking. Many people fear standing in front of an audience, worried about judgment, making mistakes, or failing to deliver a compelling message. But what if, instead of focusing on these potential negatives, you reframed the experience as an opportunity to share something valuable with others, to connect with your audience, and to grow in confidence and skill? By shifting your focus from what could go wrong to what could go right, you transform the experience from a source of anxiety to an occasion for growth. Closely related to reframing is the practice of voluntary discomfort. This Stoic technique involves deliberately exposing yourself to situations that cause you discomfort or fear in a controlled and purposeful way. The idea is to build your tolerance for discomfort, to teach yourself that you can handle more than you might think, and to reduce the power that fear and anxiety have over you. For example, if you have a fear of public speaking, you might choose to put yourself in situations where you have to speak in front of others, even in small ways. By doing this regularly, you start to build confidence, and the fear that once seemed overwhelming begins to diminish. Voluntary discomfort is not about making yourself suffer. It's about stretching your comfort zone, proving to yourself that you are capable of handling more than you realize, and building resilience in the face of fear. This practice also teaches you that fear and anxiety often exaggerate the difficulty of situations. When you voluntarily engage with discomfort, you begin to see that the reality is often far less daunting than your mind initially imagines. Over time, this practice builds a kind of mental armor, making you less susceptible to the paralyzing effects of fear and more willing to face challenges head-on. Voluntary discomfort can take many forms, depending on what triggers your anxiety. It might involve engaging in difficult conversations, tackling a new and unfamiliar task, or even embracing physical challenges like cold showers or rigorous exercise. Each time you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, you strengthen your capacity to deal with fear and anxiety in all areas of your life. Another Stoic technique that can be incredibly effective in managing fear and anxiety is the practice of self-inquiry. Self-inquiry involves asking yourself probing questions about your fears and anxieties, questions that help you get to the root of these emotions and understand them more clearly. When you feel fear or anxiety, instead of trying to push these feelings away, you might ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? What is the worst that could happen? How likely is that worst-case scenario? And even if it did happen, would it really be as bad as I imagine? By engaging in this kind of self-inquiry, you start to deconstruct your fears. You may find that the things you're afraid of are not as threatening as they seem, or that the likelihood of your worst fears coming true is actually quite low. And even if they did come true, you might discover that you have more resources, both internal and external, than you thought to deal with them. This process of questioning and reflection can take much of the sting out of fear and anxiety, making them more manageable and less overwhelming. Self-inquiry also helps you to challenge the assumptions and beliefs that underpin your fears. Often, fear and anxiety are fueled by irrational thoughts or deeply ingrained beliefs that may not hold up under scrutiny. By questioning these beliefs, you can begin to dismantle the foundations of your fear, replacing them with a more rational and empowering perspective. For example, if you find yourself anxious about a job interview, you might initially believe that failure would be catastrophic, that not getting the job would be a major setback in your life. Through self-inquiry, you could challenge this belief by asking yourself, is it really true that not getting this job would be a disaster? What are the other opportunities that might arise? How have I dealt with setbacks in the past? This process can help you reframe the situation, reducing your anxiety and allowing you to approach the interview with a calmer, more confident mindset. Another powerful Stoic technique is the practice of focusing on the present moment. Fear and anxiety often arise when we dwell on the past or worry about the future, things that are outside of our control. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living in the present, of focusing your attention on the here and now, where you have the most power to influence your life. By grounding yourself in the present moment, you can reduce the impact of fear and anxiety, which are often fueled by concerns about things that are not yet real or that may never happen. Focusing on the present doesn't mean ignoring the future or being reckless. Instead, it's about recognizing that the future is shaped by what you do right now. By directing your energy and attention to the present, you take control of your life in the most meaningful way. You make decisions based on the reality of the moment, rather than on hypothetical fears or anxieties about what might happen. This focus on the present can bring a profound sense of peace as you realize that you have the power to shape your life through your actions in the here and now. Mindfulness is a key component of this practice. By cultivating mindfulness, you learn to bring your attention back to the present moment whenever your mind starts to wander into fearful or anxious territory. This can be as simple as focusing on your breath, paying attention to the sensations in your body, or observing your surroundings with curiosity and openness. Over time, mindfulness can help you develop a greater sense of presence, making it easier to stay grounded and calm, even in the face of challenges. Lastly, one of the most effective Stoic practices for overcoming fear and anxiety is the cultivation of courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the ability to act in spite of it. The Stoics believed that courage was one of the most important virtues, because it allows you to face life's challenges with strength and integrity, even when those challenges provoke fear or anxiety. Courage is built through practice. Each time you face a fear and choose to act anyway, you strengthen your ability to do so in the future. This doesn't mean you have to tackle your biggest fears all at once. Rather, you can start with small acts of courage and gradually build up to bigger ones. Over time, you'll find that fear and anxiety lose their grip on you as you develop the inner strength to face whatever life throws your way. By cultivating courage, you begin to see yourself as someone who is capable of facing fear rather than someone who is controlled by it. This shift in self-perception is powerful, as it reinforces your ability to take on challenges and overcome obstacles. Courage, combined with the other Stoic techniques, creates a solid foundation for a life that is not only free from the paralyzing effects of fear and anxiety, but is also rich in meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. Stoic courage is not about reckless bravado. It's about measured, thoughtful action in the face of fear. It's about understanding that fear is a natural response to uncertainty, but it doesn't have to dictate your choices. By developing the habit of courageous action, you train yourself to move forward even when fear is present, to make decisions based on your values rather than your fears, and to live a life that is guided by purpose rather than by the avoidance of discomfort. As you apply these Stoic techniques to your life, you'll find that fear and anxiety become less daunting. They may still arise, as they are natural human emotions, but they no longer have the same power over you. Instead of being barriers, they become stepping stones, challenges that you can meet with confidence, tools for growth that help you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. In the end, overcoming fear and anxiety is not about achieving a state of perpetual calm or eliminating these emotions entirely. It's about learning to navigate them with skill, using them as opportunities for growth, and developing a mindset that allows you to live your life with courage, clarity, and peace. With the wisdom of Stoicism as your guide, you can transform fear and anxiety from sources of distress into catalysts for personal transformation. The journey may not always be easy, but it is one that leads to a richer, more fulfilling life. One where you are no longer held back by fear, but are instead empowered to face each day with strength and confidence. As you deepen your understanding of Stoic principles and begin to master techniques for overcoming fear and anxiety, you might find yourself feeling more resilient, more centered, and more at peace with the challenges life throws your way. But there's one aspect of life that can still shake even the strongest of us: the sting of criticism and the weight of negative feedback. These experiences can cut deeply, challenging your self-worth and shaking your confidence, no matter how well you've cultivated inner peace. Criticism has a way of getting under our skin, of making us question ourselves and our actions. Whether it comes from a loved one, a colleague, or even a stranger, negative feedback can feel like an attack on our very being, triggering feelings of anger, defensiveness, or even shame. The human desire to be liked, to be accepted, and to be seen in a positive light is powerful, and when that image is threatened, it can be hard to maintain the calm and clarity that Stoicism encourages. But what if criticism didn't have to hurt so much? What if, instead of reacting defensively or shrinking in the face of negative feedback, you could respond with grace, wisdom, and composure? The Stoics believed that it's not the criticism itself that hurts, but our interpretation of it. By changing how we perceive and respond to criticism, we can transform these potentially painful experiences into opportunities for growth and self-improvement. The Stoic approach to handling criticism and negative feedback is rooted in the understanding that these experiences are inevitable. No matter how virtuous, skilled, or well-intentioned you are, there will always be those who find fault in what you do. The Stoics knew that trying to avoid criticism entirely is a futile endeavor, and instead they focused on how to deal with it constructively when it arises. The first step in the Stoic approach to criticism is to recognize that the opinions of others do not define you. Your worth is not determined by what others think or say about you. It is determined by your own actions, intentions, and values. This is easier said than done, of course, but it is a foundational principle of Stoic philosophy. When you internalize this belief, you begin to see criticism not as a reflection of your worth, but as an opportunity to learn, to reflect, and to grow. Imagine receiving a harsh critique at work. Your initial reaction might be one of defensiveness or hurt. You might start to question your abilities or even your value as an employee. But if you pause and apply Stoic wisdom, you can begin to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing the critique as an attack, you can view it as feedback, information that you can use to improve, to refine your skills, and to become better at what you do. This shift in perspective doesn't necessarily make the criticism easier to hear, but it does make it more constructive and less personal. To fully embrace this Stoic perspective, it's helpful to consider the source of the criticism. Who is offering the feedback? Is it someone whose opinion you value and respect, or is it coming from someone who might not fully understand your situation? By evaluating the source of the criticism, you can better determine how much weight to give it. Not all criticism is created equal, and part of responding to feedback wisely involves discerning whether it's coming from a place of insight or a place of misunderstanding. Another key aspect of the Stoic approach to criticism is the practice of emotional detachment. This doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent, but rather learning to separate your emotions from the situation at hand. When you receive criticism, it's natural to feel an emotional response, whether that's anger, sadness, or frustration. But if you allow these emotions to dictate your reaction, you may end up saying or doing something that you later regret. Instead, the Stoics encourage you to take a step back, to observe your emotions without being controlled by them. This practice of detachment allows you to respond to criticism with a clear mind, rather than reacting impulsively. You can listen to the feedback with an open mind, evaluate it objectively, and decide how to respond in a way that aligns with your values and goals. Detachment also helps you to recognize that criticism often says more about the person giving it than it does about you. People criticize for a variety of reasons, sometimes out of jealousy, insecurity, or misunderstanding. By detaching emotionally, you can see the criticism for what it is and decide whether it's valid or not. If it's valid, you can take it as an opportunity to improve. If it's not, you can let it go without letting it affect your sense of self-worth. But detachment is only part of the equation. The Stoics also teach the importance of humility in the face of criticism. Humility is the recognition that you are not perfect, that you have room to grow, and that others can offer valuable insights into your behavior and performance. When you approach criticism with humility, you open yourself up to the possibility of learning from it, rather than simply dismissing it or becoming defensive. Humility allows you to listen to criticism without feeling threatened by it. You can acknowledge your mistakes, learn from them, and make changes where necessary. This doesn't mean that you have to agree with every piece of criticism you receive, but it does mean being willing to consider it, to reflect on it, and to take action if it's warranted. This approach not only helps you to grow as a person, but it also strengthens your relationships with others, as they see you as someone who is open to feedback and committed to self-improvement. Embracing humility also requires a degree of vulnerability. It means being willing to admit that you don't have all the answers and that there is always room for growth. This vulnerability is not a weakness, but a strength, as it allows you to connect more deeply with others and to learn from their perspectives. By approaching criticism with an open heart and a willingness to grow, you create an environment where constructive feedback is valued and where personal development is a shared goal. Another powerful Stoic practice for dealing with criticism is the concept of focusing on what you can control. The Stoics were deeply concerned with the idea of control, specifically understanding what is within your control and what is not. Criticism, by its nature, involves the opinions and actions of others, which are largely outside of your control. You cannot control what others think of you, what they say about you, or how they choose to express their feedback. What you can control, however, is how you respond. You have the power to choose your reaction, to decide whether you will let the criticism affect you negatively or whether you will use it as a tool for growth. By focusing on your response rather than the criticism itself, you reclaim your power and maintain your peace of mind. This mindset shift is crucial for handling criticism with the calm and composure that Stoicism advocates. Focusing on what you can control also means recognizing that you have the ability to change your behavior if the criticism is valid. If the feedback highlights an area where you can improve, you have the power to take action and make positive changes. This proactive approach not only helps you to grow, but also empowers you to take control of your own development, rather than feeling like a victim of others' opinions. One technique that the Stoics recommend for managing criticism is to anticipate it. This practice, similar to negative visualization, involves preparing yourself mentally for the possibility of criticism before it happens. By anticipating criticism, you are less likely to be caught off guard when it does occur, and more likely to respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. You can even rehearse your responses in advance, considering how you might handle different types of feedback with grace and poise. Anticipating criticism also helps you to depersonalize it. When you expect that criticism will come, you begin to see it as a normal part of life rather than a personal attack. This makes it easier to accept the feedback without letting it undermine your confidence or self-esteem. You start to view criticism as an inevitable aspect of any endeavor, especially when you are striving for excellence or taking risks. Rather than fearing criticism, you can learn to embrace it as a sign that you are pushing boundaries and making progress. In addition to anticipation, the Stoics encourage the practice of gratitude, even in the face of criticism. This might seem counterintuitive. Why would you be grateful for something that feels negative or hurtful? But gratitude in this context is about recognizing the value that criticism can offer. Every piece of feedback, no matter how difficult to hear, has the potential to teach you something, to help you grow, and to make you better. When you approach criticism with gratitude, you shift your focus from the pain of the feedback to the benefits it can bring. You start to see criticism not as a setback, but as a stepping stone on your path to self-improvement. This doesn't mean that you have to enjoy being criticized, but it does mean acknowledging the role that criticism plays in helping you become the best version of yourself. For example, if a colleague points out a flaw in your work, instead of feeling defensive or discouraged, you might choose to be grateful for their perspective. You can appreciate that they cared enough to offer feedback, and that this feedback gives you the opportunity to improve your skills and deliver better results in the future. This mindset not only helps you to grow, but it also fosters a more positive and collaborative environment in your relationships and work. Another Stoic technique for handling criticism is the practice of self-reflection. After receiving criticism, take the time to reflect on it thoughtfully. Ask yourself, is there truth in this feedback? What can I learn from it? How can I use this information to grow? Self-reflection allows you to process criticism constructively, turning it into a tool for personal development rather than a source of pain. Through self-reflection, you can also evaluate your emotional response to the criticism. Why did it bother you? What insecurities or fears did it trigger? Understanding your own reactions can give you valuable insights into areas where you might need to build more resilience or self-confidence. This introspective approach helps you to grow not only in your external actions, but also in your internal character. Furthermore, self-reflection can help you to discern between constructive criticism and baseless negativity. Not all criticism is valid or worth your attention. By reflecting on the source and content of the feedback, you can decide whether it is something that genuinely offers value or something that should be dismissed. This discernment is crucial in maintaining your peace of mind and ensuring that you are not unduly influenced by the opinions of others. A key aspect of the Stoic response to criticism is the understanding that criticism is often a reflection of the critic rather than the one being criticized. People bring their own biases, experiences, and emotions into their critiques, and these factors can color their feedback. By recognizing this, you can distance yourself from the criticism and evaluate it more objectively. You can ask yourself, what does this criticism say about the person who is offering it? Is it coming from a place of genuine concern, or is it motivated by something else, perhaps jealousy, insecurity, or a misunderstanding? This perspective helps you to take criticism less personally. It allows you to consider the feedback without internalizing it, keeping your sense of self-worth intact. You can choose to take what is useful from the criticism and leave the rest, maintaining your focus on your own values and goals rather than being swayed by the opinions of others. Another important practice in dealing with criticism is the cultivation of equanimity, a calm and balanced state of mind, regardless of the circumstances. The Stoics believed that true peace comes from within, and that it is possible to maintain this peace even in the face of external challenges, including criticism. By cultivating equanimity, you develop the ability to remain steady and composed, no matter what feedback you receive. Equanimity is not about being passive or indifferent. It's about being resilient. It's about recognizing that you have the power to control your internal state, even when you cannot control external events. When you practice equanimity, you become less reactive to criticism, more thoughtful in your responses, and more focused on your long-term goals rather than short-term emotional reactions. Equanimity also involves practicing patience with yourself. It's important to recognize that handling criticism well is a skill that takes time to develop. There will be moments when criticism stings, when you react emotionally, or when you struggle to find the lesson in the feedback. In these moments, be patient with yourself. Remember that growth is a process, and that every experience with criticism is an opportunity to strengthen your Stoic practice. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of focusing on your own judgment and conscience. Ultimately, the opinions of others should not override your own sense of what is right and true. When you are faced with criticism, take the time to consult your own values, principles, and conscience. Ask yourself, does this feedback align with my values? Does it resonate with my own sense of right and wrong? By relying on your own judgment, you become less dependent on external validation and more confident in your own decisions. This doesn't mean that you ignore all feedback, but rather that you weigh it against your own standards and principles. If the criticism aligns with your values, you can take it on board and make the necessary changes. If it doesn't, you can let it go, confident in your own path. This approach requires a strong sense of self-awareness and self-trust. The Stoics believed that true wisdom comes from knowing yourself deeply and living in alignment with your values. When you cultivate this inner wisdom, you become less susceptible to the opinions of others and more focused on living a life of integrity and purpose. You learn to trust your own judgment, even in the face of criticism, and to stay true to your path, regardless of external pressures. Finally, the Stoics remind us that criticism is an inevitable part of living a life of integrity and purpose. When you stand for something, when you pursue excellence, and when you live according to your values, you will inevitably face criticism. The more you strive to make a positive impact, the more you will encounter resistance from those who disagree with you, feel threatened by your actions, or simply misunderstand your intentions. Rather than seeing criticism as a sign that you are doing something wrong, the Stoics encourage you to see it as a sign that you are on the right path. If you are being criticized, it means you are taking action, making decisions, and striving to live a life of meaning and purpose. In this way, criticism can be seen not as a burden, but as a badge of honor, a reminder that you are living a life of integrity and courage. The Stoic approach to handling criticism and negative feedback is a powerful framework for navigating one of life's most challenging experiences. By applying Stoic principles such as detachment, humility, self-reflection, and equanimity, you can transform criticism from a source of pain into a tool for growth. You can learn to respond to feedback with grace and composure, maintaining your peace of mind and staying true to your values. As you continue on your Stoic journey, remember that criticism is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. It is an inevitable part of striving for excellence, and when approached with the right mindset, it can be one of your greatest teachers. By applying the wisdom of Stoicism, you can handle criticism with strength and dignity, turning even the harshest feedback into a stepping stone on your path to becoming the best version of yourself. Moreover, consider the long-term benefits of mastering the art of handling criticism. When you respond to feedback with grace and composure, you not only enhance your personal growth, but also inspire those around you. Others will observe your ability to remain calm and constructive in the face of criticism, and they may be encouraged to adopt a similar approach in their own lives. In this way, your practice of Stoicism can have a ripple effect, spreading resilience, wisdom, and humility within your community. Additionally, by handling criticism well, you strengthen your relationships and professional reputation. People respect those who can receive feedback without becoming defensive or reactive. When you demonstrate that you can listen to others' perspectives, evaluate them thoughtfully, and make improvements when necessary, you build trust and credibility. This can lead to more meaningful and productive collaborations, as others recognize you as someone who values growth and is committed to excellence. Over time, as you continue to apply Stoic principles to handling criticism, you may find that your relationship with feedback changes fundamentally. Instead of dreading criticism or seeing it as something to be avoided, you might begin to welcome it as a valuable source of insight and growth. This shift in perspective can be incredibly empowering, freeing you from the fear of judgment and allowing you to pursue your goals with greater confidence and clarity. Furthermore, as you grow more adept at handling criticism, you may find that you become more compassionate and understanding in your interactions with others. You recognize that everyone, at some point, faces criticism and that it can be a challenging experience. This awareness can make you more empathetic when offering feedback to others, ensuring that your critiques are delivered in a way that is constructive, supportive, and aligned with the principles of Stoic virtue. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to handling criticism is about more than just managing feedback. It's about cultivating a mindset that allows you to live with integrity, resilience, and purpose. By embracing the wisdom of Stoicism, you can transform criticism from a source of pain into a powerful tool for self-improvement and personal growth. You can learn to navigate the challenges of life with grace and composure, staying true to your values and maintaining your inner peace, no matter what feedback you receive. As you move forward on your Stoic journey, remember that criticism is not something to be feared or avoided. It is an inevitable part of living a life of meaning and purpose, and when approached with the right mindset, it can be one of your greatest allies on the path to becoming the best version of yourself. By applying the principles of Stoicism, you can turn criticism into a stepping stone to greater wisdom, resilience, and fulfillment, and continue to grow and evolve on your journey toward a life of true virtue and inner peace. As you continue to navigate life with the wisdom of Stoicism, learning to handle criticism with grace and composure, you begin to understand the power of starting each day with intention. The way you begin your morning sets the tone for everything that follows. It's in those first moments after waking that you have the opportunity to align your mind, body, and spirit with the principles that guide you. Each day is a blank slate, a new chance to live in accordance with your values, to face the world with courage, and to cultivate the inner strength that Stoicism fosters. But how often do we rush through our mornings, caught up in the demands of the day before it even begins? How often do we allow external pressures to dictate our mood and mindset from the moment we open our eyes? What if, instead of being swept up by the chaos, you could establish a morning routine that grounds you, empowers you, and prepares you to face whatever the day brings with clarity and resilience? The Stoics understood the importance of beginning the day with purpose. They believed that how you start your morning can significantly impact the quality of your entire day. By incorporating Stoic practices into your morning routine, you can create a foundation of strength, focus, and tranquility that carries you through even the most challenging circumstances. This isn't just about being productive. It's about setting a powerful tone that aligns your actions with your deeper values, ensuring that each day is lived with intention and integrity. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of calm, knowing that the first hours of your day are dedicated to practices that nourish your mind and spirit. Instead of feeling rushed or anxious, you feel centered and prepared, ready to approach your day with the wisdom and resilience that Stoicism teaches. This is not an unattainable ideal. It's a reality that you can create through the simple yet profound act of establishing a morning routine based on Stoic principles. One of the most powerful ways to begin your morning is through the practice of silence and reflection. In a world that is constantly noisy and demanding, taking a few moments of quiet at the start of your day can be incredibly grounding. Silence allows you to connect with your inner self, to tune out the external distractions, and to listen to your thoughts and feelings without judgment. It's in this silence that you can reflect on your intentions for the day, reminding yourself of your values and the kind of person you aspire to be. Reflection is a key component of this practice. The Stoics emphasized the importance of reflecting on your actions, your goals, and your challenges. In the quiet of the morning, before the world wakes up, you have the opportunity to think deeply about what you want to achieve and how you want to approach the day ahead. You can ask yourself important questions. What are my priorities today? How can I live in accordance with my values? What challenges might I face, and how can I prepare myself to handle them with wisdom and grace? This reflective practice not only helps you to start your day with clarity, but also strengthens your resolve to live in alignment with your Stoic principles. It's a moment to ground yourself in the present, to let go of the worries of yesterday, and to set a clear intention for how you will navigate the day ahead. This morning ritual of silence and reflection becomes a cornerstone of your Stoic practice, reinforcing your commitment to living with purpose and integrity. Another powerful Stoic practice to incorporate into your morning routine is the exercise of negative visualization. This may seem counterintuitive as a way to start your day, but it can be incredibly empowering. Negative visualization involves imagining the challenges, obstacles, and setbacks that you might encounter during the day. By visualizing these potential difficulties in advance, you prepare yourself mentally and emotionally to face them with resilience. The Stoics believed that by contemplating the worst-case scenarios, you strip them of their power to surprise or overwhelm you. Instead of fearing what might go wrong, you approach the day with a calm confidence, knowing that you have already considered and prepared for the challenges ahead. This practice helps to reduce anxiety and fear, as you realize that even the most difficult situations can be managed with wisdom and composure. Negative visualization also enhances your appreciation for the present moment. By considering what could go wrong, you become more grateful for what is going right. This gratitude grounds you in the here and now, helping you to approach the day with a balanced perspective, ready to handle both the good and the bad with equanimity. It's a practice that fosters resilience, gratitude, and a deep sense of inner peace, all of which are essential for living a life guided by Stoic principles. In addition to these mental practices, incorporating physical movement into your morning routine can help set a powerful tone for your day. The Stoics understood the importance of taking care of the body as well as the mind. Physical exercise, whether it's a brisk walk, a session of stretching, or more intense physical training, can help to clear your mind, increase your energy, and strengthen your resolve for the day ahead. Exercise is not just about maintaining physical health, it's also a practice in discipline and self-mastery. By committing to regular physical activity, you cultivate a sense of control over your body and your mind. You learn to push through discomfort, to set goals, and to achieve them, all of which are aligned with Stoic teachings. Starting your day with physical exercise reinforces the Stoic value of discipline and prepares you to face the day with strength and vitality. Another essential element of a Stoic morning routine is the practice of journaling. Writing down your thoughts, goals, and reflections each morning can help you to clarify your intentions for the day and to stay focused on what truly matters. Journaling is a powerful tool for self-reflection, allowing you to track your progress, identify areas for improvement, and celebrate your successes. The Stoics often use journaling as a way to reinforce their commitment to living according to their values. By writing down your thoughts each morning, you create a record of your journey, a tangible reminder of your goals and the principles that guide you. This practice helps to keep you accountable, ensuring that you start each day with a clear sense of purpose and direction. In your journal, you might choose to write about the challenges you anticipate facing that day and how you plan to overcome them with Stoic wisdom. You could reflect on the values that are most important to you and how you intend to embody them in your actions. Journaling in the morning allows you to set a powerful tone for the day, reminding you of who you are and what you stand for, and providing you with the clarity and focus needed to navigate the day with intention. Another powerful morning practice is the cultivation of gratitude. Starting your day with a focus on what you are grateful for can have a profound impact on your mindset. Gratitude shifts your focus away from what is lacking or what could go wrong, and instead directs your attention to the abundance in your life. This shift in perspective helps to foster a positive and resilient mindset, which is essential for living a Stoic life. Gratitude in the morning can be as simple as taking a few moments to silently acknowledge the things you are thankful for, or it can be part of your journaling practice. By regularly reflecting on the good in your life, you cultivate a sense of contentment and satisfaction, which helps to buffer against the challenges and stresses that the day may bring. Gratitude grounds you in the present moment, reinforcing the Stoic practice of focusing on what is within your control and letting go of the rest. You might choose to express gratitude for the people in your life, the opportunities you have, or even the challenges that help you to grow. This practice not only enhances your mood and outlook, but also strengthens your resolve to live each day with purpose and integrity. Gratitude becomes a powerful tool for maintaining your Stoic equanimity, helping you to navigate the day with a balanced and positive mindset. Another important aspect of a Stoic morning routine is the practice of setting intentions for the day. This involves taking a few moments to consciously decide how you want to show up in the world, what you want to achieve, and how you will embody your Stoic values throughout the day. Setting intentions is different from setting goals. It's about focusing on the qualities and virtues you want to cultivate in your actions, rather than specific outcomes. For example, you might set an intention to approach your work with patience and diligence, to treat others with kindness and respect, or to remain calm and composed in the face of challenges. By setting these intentions in the morning, you create a mental framework for how you will navigate the day. This practice helps you to stay aligned with your values, ensuring that your actions are guided by Stoic principles rather than by external pressures or distractions. Setting intentions also serves as a reminder of your personal agency, the understanding that while you cannot control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. This sense of agency is central to Stoic philosophy and is reinforced each morning as you set your intentions for the day. It empowers you to take responsibility for your actions and to live each day with purpose and integrity. Another key component of a Stoic morning routine is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment, paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. This practice helps to cultivate a sense of awareness and clarity, allowing you to navigate the day with a calm and focused mind. Mindfulness can be practiced in various ways in the morning, whether through meditation, mindful breathing, or simply paying attention to your surroundings as you go about your morning routine. By starting your day with mindfulness, you create a foundation of calm and clarity that carries through into your actions and interactions. This practice helps you to stay grounded in the present moment, reducing the likelihood of becoming overwhelmed by stress or anxiety. Mindfulness also enhances your ability to respond to challenges with equanimity. When you are mindful, you are more aware of your thoughts and emotions, which allows you to respond rather than react. This awareness is essential for living a Stoic life, as it helps you to maintain your inner peace and to approach each situation with wisdom and composure. As you establish your Stoic morning routine, it's important to remember that consistency is key. The benefits of these practices are cumulative. They build over time as you commit to them each day. While it may take some time to develop a routine that works for you, the effort is well worth it. Each morning, you have the opportunity to reinforce your commitment to living according to Stoic principles, to set a powerful tone for your day, and to cultivate the inner strength and clarity needed to navigate life's challenges. In addition to the specific practices mentioned, it's also valuable to consider the overall environment in which you begin your day. Creating a peaceful and intentional space for your morning routine can enhance its effectiveness. This might involve decluttering your environment, incorporating elements of nature, or simply ensuring that your morning routine is free from distractions. By creating a space that supports your Stoic practice, you reinforce the importance of starting each day with intention and purpose. Furthermore, you may find it beneficial to tailor your morning routine to your individual needs and circumstances. While the Stoic practices discussed here offer a solid foundation, the most effective routine is one that resonates with you personally. Consider experimenting with different practices and approaches to find what works best for you. The key is to remain flexible and open to adjustments, ensuring that your routine remains relevant and supportive of your goals and values. As your life evolves, so too might your morning routine. You may find that certain practices become more or less relevant over time, depending on your current challenges and aspirations. Embrace this evolution as a natural part of your Stoic journey and allow your routine to grow and change with you. The goal is not to create a rigid set of rules, but to establish a practice that nurtures your growth and aligns with your ongoing pursuit of wisdom and virtue. Finally, as you continue to refine your Stoic morning routine, remember that the goal is not perfection, but progress. There will be days when you miss a practice or when your morning doesn't go as planned. On these days, it's important to approach yourself with the same kindness and understanding that Stoicism encourages you to extend to others. Use these moments as opportunities to learn and grow and to recommit to your practice the next day. Establishing a morning routine based on Stoic principles is a powerful way to set a strong and clear tone for your day. By incorporating practices such as silence and reflection, negative visualization, physical movement, journaling, gratitude, setting intentions, and mindfulness, you create a foundation of strength, focus, and tranquility that carries you through even the most challenging circumstances. Each morning, you have the opportunity to align your actions with your values, to cultivate inner strength and clarity, and to live each day with purpose and integrity. As you continue on your Stoic journey, let your morning routine be a daily reminder of your commitment to living a life guided by wisdom, courage, and compassion. Let it be a time to reconnect with your inner self, to set your intentions for the day, and to prepare yourself to face the world with grace and resilience. By starting each day with these powerful Stoic practices, you set the stage for a life of meaning, purpose, and true fulfillment. Consider also the broader impact that your morning routine can have on those around you. When you begin your day with intention, clarity, and calm, you carry that energy into your interactions with others. Your sense of peace and focus can influence those you encounter, creating a ripple effect of positivity and mindfulness. Whether at home, at work, or in your community, the strength and serenity you cultivate in the morning can inspire others to approach their days with a similar sense of purpose and balance. Moreover, a well-established morning routine can serve as a powerful anchor during times of stress or uncertainty. Life is full of unexpected challenges and changes, but having a consistent practice to return to each morning can provide a sense of stability and grounding. No matter what the day ahead holds, you can start it from a place of strength, knowing that you have the tools and practices to navigate whatever comes your way. Over time, the cumulative effect of your morning routine will become evident in all areas of your life. You may find that you are more resilient in the face of challenges, more focused on your goals, and more at peace with yourself and the world around you. The practices you cultivate each morning will permeate your day, guiding your decisions, actions, and interactions with others. As you reflect on the impact of your morning routine, take pride in the progress you have made. Each day that you commit to these practices is a step forward on your Stoic journey, a journey toward greater wisdom, virtue, and fulfillment. The morning is not just a time to prepare for the day ahead. It is an opportunity to shape the course of your life, one intentional moment at a time. In the end, the true power of a Stoic morning routine lies in its ability to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. By dedicating the first hours of your day to practices that nourish your mind, body, and spirit, you create a life that is not only productive but deeply meaningful. You move through the world with a sense of purpose and clarity, grounded in the principles of Stoicism and guided by the wisdom of the ages. So as you rise each morning, remember that the way you begin your day is a reflection of how you choose to live your life. With each practice you incorporate into your routine, you are making a statement about your values, your priorities, and your commitment to growth. Let your morning routine be a testament to your dedication to living a life of integrity, resilience, and purpose, a life that is truly worth living. As you continue to refine your morning routine, building a foundation of strength and clarity that sets the tone for each day, you may begin to notice a subtle but pervasive pressure, the relentless pursuit of perfection. It whispers that nothing you do is ever enough, that you must strive constantly for an ideal that seems always just out of reach. This drive for perfection can seep into every aspect of your life, making you feel that no matter how much you achieve, it's never quite sufficient. It can turn the simplest of tasks into burdens, weighing you down with an ever-growing sense of inadequacy. Perfectionism, at first glance, seems like a noble pursuit. After all, who wouldn't want to do their best, to strive for excellence in every endeavor? But perfectionism is a double-edged sword. While it might push you to achieve high standards, it can also become a source of endless frustration and anxiety. It can rob you of the joy of accomplishment, replacing it with a constant fear of failure, of not being good enough. The more you chase perfection, the more elusive it becomes, leaving you trapped in a cycle of self-criticism and doubt. But what if you could break free from this cycle? What if, instead of chasing an impossible ideal, you could learn to embrace progress, steady, imperfect progress? The Stoics believed that perfection is not something to be attained, but something to be approached. They taught that true wisdom lies not in achieving perfection, but in making consistent, meaningful progress toward becoming the best version of yourself. Letting go of perfectionism is not about lowering your standards or settling for mediocrity. It's about recognizing that perfection, as an absolute state, does not exist. The pursuit of perfection can often lead to paralysis, where the fear of making a mistake or falling short prevents you from taking action at all. This fear can stifle your growth, holding you back from experiences that could lead to valuable learning and development. The Stoics understood that life is a journey, and progress is made not through leaps and bounds, but through small, deliberate steps taken consistently over time. Embracing progress means accepting that mistakes are an inherent part of the process. Every misstep, every setback, is an opportunity to learn and grow. The Stoics taught that it is not our mistakes that define us, but how we respond to them. Instead of being consumed by the desire to be perfect, they encouraged focusing on what can be controlled: your actions, your effort, and your attitude. When you shift your focus from the unattainable goal of perfection to the attainable goal of steady progress, you free yourself from the tyranny of impossible expectations. Imagine working on a project that is important to you. The Stoics believed that the key to embracing progress lies in cultivating self-compassion and patience. Perfectionism often stems from a harsh inner critic, a voice that tells you that anything less than perfect is unacceptable. This voice can be relentless, eroding your self-esteem and making you feel that no matter what you do, it will never be enough. But the Stoics remind us that we are all human, and to be human is to be imperfect. By practicing self-compassion, you can quiet that inner critic, allowing yourself the grace to grow and improve without the constant pressure to be flawless. Patience is another essential virtue in the Stoic approach to progress. The journey towards self-improvement is a long one, and it requires patience with yourself and with the process. The Stoics taught that meaningful change does not happen overnight. It is the result of consistent effort, day after day, often in the face of setbacks and challenges. When you cultivate patience, you learn to appreciate the small victories, the incremental gains that add up over time. You begin to see progress not as a straight line, but as a winding path, one that is full of twists and turns, but always moving forward. In the practice of embracing progress, it's important to set realistic goals. Perfectionism often involves setting goals that are so high and so rigid that they are virtually impossible to achieve. When these goals are inevitably not met, it leads to feelings of failure and inadequacy. The Stoics, however, encouraged setting goals that are challenging yet attainable, goals that stretch your abilities without overwhelming you. By setting realistic goals, you create a sense of momentum and achievement, which fuels further progress. A key part of setting realistic goals is breaking them down into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of focusing on the end result, the Stoics advised concentrating on the process, the daily actions and decisions that lead to progress. By breaking down a large goal into smaller tasks, you make the journey less daunting and more achievable. Each small step becomes a victory in itself, a marker of progress that keeps you motivated and engaged. For example, if your goal is to write a book, perfectionism might tell you that every chapter, every sentence must be perfect before you can move on. This mindset can lead to endless revisions, delays, and ultimately frustration. But if you approach the goal with a focus on progress, you might set a daily writing target, a certain number of words or pages that you commit to regardless of whether the writing is perfect. Over time, these small, consistent efforts will accumulate, leading to the completion of the book. And along the way, you will have learned, improved, and grown as a writer. Another important aspect of embracing progress is the willingness to be vulnerable. Perfectionism often involves a fear of vulnerability, a fear of being seen as imperfect, of making mistakes, or of not living up to expectations. This fear can prevent you from taking risks, from putting yourself out there, and from embracing new opportunities. The Stoics, however, recognized that vulnerability is an essential part of growth. It is through taking risks and stepping out of your comfort zone that you learn and evolve. By embracing vulnerability, you allow yourself to take imperfect action, to try new things, and to learn from your experiences. You begin to see mistakes not as failures, but as valuable feedback, information that helps you to improve and refine your approach. This mindset shift can be incredibly liberating, freeing you from the need to be perfect and allowing you to embrace the journey of self-improvement with curiosity and openness. In addition to vulnerability, the Stoics also emphasized the importance of resilience in the pursuit of progress. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going even when things don't go as planned. Perfectionism often leads to a fear of failure, which can be paralyzing. But the Stoics taught that failure is not something to be feared. It is an inevitable part of the process. What matters is not whether you fail, but how you respond to failure. When you approach life with a mindset of resilience, you learn to see setbacks as opportunities for growth. Instead of giving up when things go wrong, you pick yourself up, learn from the experience, and continue moving forward. This resilience is a key component of progress. It is what allows you to keep going, even in the face of challenges and obstacles. The Stoics also encouraged the practice of gratitude as a way to embrace progress. Gratitude helps to shift your focus away from what is lacking or what could be better, and instead directs your attention to what you have already achieved. By regularly reflecting on your progress and expressing gratitude for the steps you have taken, you cultivate a sense of contentment and satisfaction. This gratitude helps to counterbalance the relentless drive for perfection, reminding you that progress, not perfection, is the true measure of success. Gratitude also fosters a sense of appreciation for the journey itself. The Stoics believed that the process of growth and self-improvement is valuable in its own right, regardless of the outcome. By cultivating gratitude for the small steps, the lessons learned, and the progress made along the way, you begin to see the journey as a fulfilling and enriching experience, rather than a relentless pursuit of an unattainable ideal. Another powerful Stoic practice for embracing progress is the art of self-reflection. The Stoics believed that regular self-reflection is essential for personal growth. By taking the time to reflect on your actions, decisions, and progress, you gain valuable insights into your strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement. This reflection allows you to course-correct as needed, making adjustments to your approach and ensuring that you continue to move forward in alignment with your values and goals. Self-reflection is not about judging yourself harshly or dwelling on your mistakes. Instead, it is a practice of honest and compassionate assessment, an opportunity to learn from your experiences and to celebrate your progress. By incorporating regular self-reflection into your routine, you create a feedback loop that supports ongoing growth and development. This practice helps to reinforce the mindset of progress over perfection as you begin to see each day as an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. In addition to self-reflection, the Stoics also emphasized the importance of community in the pursuit of progress. The journey of self-improvement is not one that you must undertake alone. By surrounding yourself with a supportive community of like-minded individuals, you create an environment that encourages and nurtures progress. This community can provide valuable feedback, encouragement, and accountability, helping you to stay on track and to continue moving forward. The Stoics believed in the power of learning from others, whether through mentorship, collaboration, or simply observing the actions of those who exemplify the virtues you wish to cultivate. By engaging with a community, you gain access to a wealth of knowledge and experience that can help you to navigate your own journey of self-improvement. This collaborative approach not only accelerates your progress, but also helps to keep you grounded, reminding you that progress is a shared experience, not a solitary pursuit. Moreover, the Stoics taught that by helping others on their journey, you reinforce your own progress. The act of supporting and encouraging others in their growth creates a positive feedback loop that strengthens your commitment to your own path. This sense of mutual support and shared progress is a powerful motivator, reminding you that the pursuit of wisdom and virtue is a collective endeavor. Another important aspect of embracing progress with Stoic wisdom is the practice of focusing on the present moment. Perfectionism often involves dwelling on the past, regretting mistakes or missed opportunities, or worrying about the future, fearing failure or falling short of expectations. This focus on what could have been or what might be can distract you from the progress you are making in the here and now. The Stoics emphasized the importance of living in the present moment, of focusing on what you can do right now to move closer to your goals. By grounding yourself in the present, you free yourself from the burden of past regrets and future anxieties, allowing you to take meaningful action in the present. This focus on the present moment is essential for embracing progress, as it helps you to stay engaged, motivated, and connected to your journey. Focusing on the present also allows you to appreciate the progress you are making in real time. Instead of constantly comparing yourself to an idealized version of the future, you begin to see the value in the steps you are taking today. This appreciation for the present moment fosters a sense of contentment and fulfillment, helping you to stay motivated and committed to your path of self-improvement. Another key element of embracing progress is the practice of letting go of comparison. Perfectionism often involves comparing yourself to others, measuring your progress against the achievements of those around you. This comparison can be demoralizing, leading to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. The Stoics taught that true progress is measured not by how you compare to others, but by how you measure up to your own potential. By letting go of comparison, you free yourself from the pressure to live up to external standards. Instead, you focus on your own growth and development, recognizing that everyone's journey is unique. This shift in focus allows you to celebrate your progress without being overshadowed by the accomplishments of others. You begin to see your journey as a personal and individual process, one that is guided by your values, goals, and aspirations. Moreover, the Stoics remind us that comparison often involves judging others based on limited information. You may see someone's successes and assume that they have achieved perfection, but you may not see the struggles, setbacks, and challenges they faced along the way. By letting go of comparison, you allow yourself to focus on your own journey without the distraction of unrealistic expectations. This focus on your own path fosters a sense of authenticity and self-acceptance, allowing you to embrace progress on your terms. In addition to letting go of comparison, the Stoics also encouraged the practice of embracing impermanence. Perfectionism often involves a desire for permanence, a belief that once something is perfect, it will remain so forever. This desire for permanence can lead to an aversion to change, a fear of losing what you have worked so hard to achieve. But the Stoics taught that impermanence is a fundamental aspect of life, and that true wisdom lies in embracing change rather than resisting it. By accepting the impermanence of all things, you free yourself from the need to cling to perfection. You begin to see that progress is a dynamic process, one that involves constant change and adaptation. This acceptance of impermanence allows you to approach life with a sense of flexibility and openness, recognizing that progress is not a fixed state, but an ongoing journey. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of aligning your actions with your values. Perfectionism often involves striving for external validation, seeking approval from others, or trying to meet societal standards of success. But the Stoics taught that true fulfillment comes from living in accordance with your own values, rather than seeking validation from others. By aligning your actions with your values, you create a sense of inner harmony and integrity. This alignment allows you to measure progress not by external standards, but by your own sense of purpose and meaning. When your actions are guided by your values, you are more likely to experience a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction, regardless of whether you achieve perfection. Finally, the Stoics remind us that the pursuit of progress is a lifelong journey. There is no final destination, no point at which you have achieved all there is to achieve. Instead, progress is an ongoing process of growth, learning, and self-improvement. The Stoics encourage us to embrace this journey with humility, recognizing that there will always be more to learn, more to improve, and more to strive for. By embracing progress with Stoic wisdom, you cultivate a mindset that allows you to navigate life's challenges with resilience, patience, and grace. You learn to let go of the pursuit of perfection, recognizing that it is an illusion that can never be fully realized. Instead, you focus on the steady, consistent steps that lead to meaningful growth and development. This mindset not only reduces the stress and anxiety associated with perfectionism, but also fosters a deep sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. The Stoic approach to embracing progress is a powerful antidote to the pressures of perfectionism. By letting go of the need to be perfect and instead focusing on steady, meaningful progress, you free yourself from the tyranny of impossible expectations. You learn to appreciate the journey of self-improvement, recognizing that it is through small, consistent steps that true growth is achieved. The Stoics teach us that progress, not perfection, is the true measure of success, and that it is in the pursuit of progress that we find fulfillment, wisdom, and peace. As you continue on your Stoic journey, remember that each day is an opportunity to make progress, no matter how small. Celebrate the steps you take, learn from your experiences, and embrace the journey with patience, humility, and resilience. By doing so, you cultivate a life that is rich in meaning, purpose, and true fulfillment, one that is guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. As you embrace progress, consider how this shift in mindset can positively influence your relationships and interactions with others. When you let go of the need for perfection, you become more understanding and compassionate toward those around you. You recognize that everyone is on their own journey of growth, facing their own challenges and striving for their own version of progress. This understanding fosters deeper connections and a greater sense of empathy, allowing you to support and encourage others in their pursuit of self-improvement. Moreover, as you focus on progress, you may find that you are more open to feedback and learning from others. Instead of fearing criticism or viewing it as a threat to your sense of self-worth, you begin to see it as a valuable tool for growth. This openness to feedback allows you to continuously refine your approach, making adjustments as needed to stay aligned with your goals and values. It also creates a culture of learning and growth in your personal and professional life, where feedback is welcomed and valued as a means of enhancing progress. In your professional life, embracing progress over perfection can lead to increased creativity and innovation. When you are not constrained by the fear of making mistakes, you are more likely to take risks, try new approaches, and think outside the box. This willingness to experiment and explore can lead to breakthroughs and discoveries that might not have been possible if you were solely focused on achieving perfection. The Stoic mindset encourages you to view challenges and setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth, rather than as failures to be avoided. In your personal life, the focus on progress can help you cultivate healthier habits and behaviors. Whether it's improving your physical health, building stronger relationships, or developing new skills, the mindset of progress allows you to make sustainable changes over time. Instead of seeking quick fixes or expecting immediate results, you approach your goals with patience and persistence, recognizing that lasting change takes time and effort. This approach not only leads to more meaningful and lasting results, but also helps you maintain a sense of balance and well-being. As you continue to embrace progress, you may also notice a shift in your overall sense of fulfillment and happiness. The Stoics taught that true happiness comes from living in alignment with your values and making progress toward your goals, rather than from external achievements or the approval of others. By focusing on progress, you create a sense of purpose and direction in your life, which contributes to a deeper sense of contentment and satisfaction. Finally, as you reflect on your journey of progress, take time to acknowledge and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. The Stoics remind us that every step forward is a victory, and that it is important to recognize and honor the progress you have made. This practice of celebration helps to reinforce your commitment to growth and encourages you to continue moving forward on your path of self-improvement. In the end, the Stoic approach to progress is not about reaching a final destination, but about embracing the journey itself. It is about recognizing that life is a continuous process of learning, growing, and evolving, and that true fulfillment comes from making steady, meaningful progress toward becoming the best version of yourself. By letting go of the pursuit of perfection and focusing on progress, you create a life that is rich in purpose, wisdom, and inner peace, a life that is guided by the enduring principles of Stoicism. As you continue on your journey of embracing progress over perfection, cultivating resilience and letting go of the need for absolute control, you may find that your path to self-improvement becomes clearer and more fulfilling. However, even with the best intentions and the most disciplined efforts, there are still behaviors, often subtle and insidious, that can quietly undermine your progress. These self-destructive habits may seem harmless or even justified in the moment, but over time, they erode your well-being, diminish your potential, and keep you from living the life you truly desire. The Stoics understood that true progress requires not just the cultivation of virtues, but also the elimination of vices. It's not enough to build up your strengths. You must also identify and remove the obstacles that stand in your way. These obstacles often take the form of self-destructive behaviors, habits of thought and action that, whether consciously or unconsciously, lead you away from your goals and values. You might not recognize these behaviors immediately because they often disguise themselves as coping mechanisms, distractions, or even necessities. Yet, left unchecked, they become barriers to your growth, keeping you trapped in cycles of frustration, regret, and missed opportunities. But what if, with the guidance of Stoic wisdom, you could identify these behaviors and begin the work of removing them from your life? What if 2024 could be the year you finally break free from the habits that have been holding you back? The Stoics believed that self-awareness is the first step toward transformation. By shining a light on the behaviors that undermine your well-being, you gain the power to change them. This process isn't about self-judgment or harsh criticism. It's about understanding yourself deeply and honestly, so you can make the choices that align with your highest values and aspirations. It's about recognizing that the power to change your life lies within you, and that by removing these self-destructive habits, you can create a life that is more aligned with your true nature. One of the most common self-destructive behaviors is procrastination, the habit of delaying tasks that are important or necessary. Procrastination can take many forms: putting off work, avoiding difficult conversations, or postponing decisions. On the surface, it may seem like a harmless way to avoid stress or discomfort, but in reality, it's a behavior that chips away at your confidence, creates unnecessary stress, and ultimately prevents you from achieving your goals. The Stoics taught that time is one of our most precious resources, and to waste it is to waste life itself. By identifying procrastination as a self-destructive habit, you can begin to replace it with a more proactive and disciplined approach to your tasks. Procrastination often stems from a fear of failure or a fear of the unknown. You may hesitate to start a project because you're worried you won't do it perfectly, or because you're unsure of how to proceed. But the Stoics remind us that perfection is not the goal. Progress is. By taking small, consistent steps toward your goals, you build momentum and confidence, which in turn reduces the temptation to procrastinate. You begin to see that action, even imperfect action, is always better than inaction. Another self-destructive behavior that can undermine your well-being is negative self-talk. This inner dialogue can be incredibly damaging, as it shapes the way you see yourself and your abilities. Negative self-talk often manifests as self-criticism, doubt, or pessimism. Thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," "I always fail," or "this will never work out." These thoughts create a self-fulfilling prophecy where your beliefs about yourself become your reality. The Stoics believed in the power of the mind to shape your experience of the world. By cultivating a positive and constructive inner dialogue, you can change the way you approach challenges and opportunities. Instead of tearing yourself down with negative self-talk, you can build yourself up with thoughts of encouragement, resilience, and hope. This shift in mindset not only improves your mental health, but also enhances your ability to achieve your goals. Closely related to negative self-talk is the behavior of holding on to grudges. Grudges are like heavy stones that you carry with you, weighing you down and preventing you from moving forward. When you hold on to anger, resentment, or bitterness, you allow the past to control your present and future. The Stoics taught that forgiveness is not about excusing bad behavior, but about freeing yourself from the negative emotions that keep you stuck. Letting go of grudges is an act of liberation. It's a decision to release the emotional baggage that no longer serves you and to focus your energy on what truly matters: your growth, your happiness, and your well-being. By practicing forgiveness, you create space for new opportunities and positive experiences to enter your life. You begin to see that holding on to grudges only harms you, while letting go opens the door to healing and transformation. Another self-destructive behavior that the Stoics would advise you to eliminate is the habit of comparison. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others, whether it's their achievements, their appearance, or their lifestyle. But comparison is a thief of joy, and it often leads to feelings of inadequacy, envy, and dissatisfaction. The Stoics believed that true contentment comes from within, not from measuring yourself against others. Instead of comparing yourself to others, the Stoics encourage you to focus on your own path, your own progress, and your own values. By doing so, you free yourself from the need for external validation and cultivate a sense of inner peace and self-acceptance. You begin to appreciate your unique journey, recognizing that everyone's path is different and that true fulfillment comes from living in alignment with your own principles, not from trying to measure up to someone else's standards. Another behavior that can be particularly insidious is the habit of overcommitment. In a world that values productivity and achievement, it's easy to fall into the trap of saying yes to too many things, whether it's work projects, social obligations, or personal commitments. Overcommitment can lead to burnout, stress, and a sense of overwhelm, leaving you with little time or energy for the things that truly matter. The Stoics emphasized the importance of living a life of purpose and intentionality. By learning to say no to the things that do not align with your values or goals, you create space for the things that truly matter. You begin to prioritize quality over quantity, focusing your time and energy on the activities and relationships that bring you fulfillment and joy. This practice of mindful commitment helps you to live a more balanced and centered life, free from the constant pressure to do more and be more. Another self-destructive behavior that the Stoics would caution against is the habit of avoiding discomfort. Discomfort, whether physical, emotional, or psychological, is an inevitable part of life. But when you go out of your way to avoid discomfort, whether through procrastination, distraction, or denial, you miss out on opportunities for growth and self-improvement. The Stoics believed that embracing discomfort is essential for personal growth. They taught that by facing challenges head-on and enduring discomfort with courage and resilience, you build inner strength and fortitude. Instead of avoiding discomfort, the Stoics encourage you to see it as a teacher, a source of valuable lessons that can help you to grow and evolve. By confronting discomfort with a Stoic mindset, you begin to see it not as something to be feared, but as an opportunity to develop your character and strengthen your resolve. Closely related to the avoidance of discomfort is the behavior of seeking instant gratification. In a world where everything is available at the touch of a button, it's easy to fall into the habit of seeking immediate pleasure or reward, often at the expense of long-term goals. Whether it's indulging in unhealthy foods, procrastinating on important tasks, or avoiding difficult conversations, the pursuit of instant gratification can undermine your progress and well-being. The Stoics taught the value of delayed gratification, the ability to forego short-term pleasure in favor of long-term fulfillment. By practicing self-discipline and resisting the temptation for instant gratification, You build the strength and resilience needed to achieve your goals. You begin to prioritize what truly matters, focusing on the actions and decisions that will bring you lasting happiness and success, rather than momentary satisfaction. Another self-destructive behavior that the Stoics would advise you to eliminate is the habit of living in the past. Dwelling on past mistakes, regrets, or missed opportunities can keep you trapped in a cycle of negative thinking, preventing you from moving forward and making progress. The Stoics believed that the past is beyond our control and that the only thing we can change is how we respond to the present. By letting go of the past and focusing on the present moment, you free yourself from the burden of regret and guilt. You begin to see each day as a new opportunity to make positive changes and to live in alignment with your values. The Stoics encourage you to learn from the past, but not to be defined by it. Instead, they teach the importance of living fully in the present, embracing each moment as an opportunity to grow and evolve. Another behavior that can be detrimental to your well-being is the habit of seeking approval from others. This need for external validation can lead to a constant cycle of people-pleasing, where you prioritize the opinions and expectations of others over your own values and desires. The Stoics taught that true happiness comes from living in alignment with your own principles, not from seeking the approval of others. By letting go of the need for approval, you free yourself from the pressure to conform to others' expectations. You begin to make decisions based on what is right for you, rather than what will please others. This shift in mindset allows you to live a more authentic and fulfilling life, where your actions are guided by your own values and goals, rather than by the opinions of others. Another self-destructive behavior that the Stoics would advise you to eliminate is the habit of excessive worry. Worrying about the future, about things that are beyond your control, can lead to feelings of anxiety, stress, and overwhelm. The Stoics believed that worry is a waste of mental and emotional energy, and that it distracts you from the present moment and the things that you can control. Instead of worrying, the Stoics encourage you to focus on what you can do in the present to address your concerns. By taking proactive steps to manage your challenges, you reduce the power of worry and build a sense of confidence and control. You begin to see that worrying does not solve problems, it only magnifies them. By letting go of worry and focusing on action, you create a sense of peace and clarity that allows you to navigate life's challenges with greater ease and resilience. Finally, one of the most destructive behaviors that the Stoics would advise you to eliminate is the habit of self-sabotage. This behavior can take many forms, whether it's procrastination, negative self-talk, or setting yourself up for failure. But at its core, self-sabotage is a way of undermining your own success and well-being. The Stoics believed that self-sabotage is often rooted in fear, fear of failure, fear of success, or fear of the unknown. By recognizing and addressing the underlying fears that drive self-sabotage, you can begin to break free from this destructive behavior. The Stoics encourage you to cultivate self-compassion and self-awareness so that you can identify the patterns of thought and behavior that hold you back. By replacing self-sabotage with self-empowerment, you begin to take control of your life and move closer to your goals with confidence and determination. In conclusion, the Stoic approach to eliminating self-destructive behaviors is a powerful tool for personal growth and transformation. By identifying and removing the habits that undermine your well-being, you create space for positive change and progress. The Stoics teach us that true wisdom lies not only in cultivating virtues, but also in eliminating vices, in letting go of the behaviors that keep us from living our best lives. As you continue on your Stoic journey, take the time to reflect on the self-destructive behaviors that may be holding you back. With honesty and compassion, identify the habits that no longer serve you, and commit to replacing them with behaviors that align with your values and goals. By doing so, you create a life that is rich in meaning, purpose, and fulfillment, a life guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. As you work to eliminate these self-destructive behaviors, remember that the process is not about achieving perfection, but about making steady progress. The Stoics teach us that change is a gradual process, one that requires patience, persistence, and self-compassion. By taking small, consistent steps toward eliminating these behaviors, you build the foundation for lasting transformation and growth. Moreover, as you remove these self-destructive habits from your life, you may find that you become more attuned to your own needs and desires. You begin to live more authentically, making choices that reflect your true self rather than the expectations of others. This sense of authenticity is deeply fulfilling, as it allows you to live in alignment with your values and to create a life that is uniquely your own. In addition to the personal benefits of eliminating self-destructive behaviors, you may also find that your relationships improve. As you let go of habits like negative self-talk, comparison, and seeking approval, you become more confident and self-assured. This confidence allows you to connect with others on a deeper level, building relationships that are based on mutual respect and understanding, rather than on the need for validation or approval. As you continue to embrace the Stoic approach to personal growth, remember that the journey is ongoing. There will always be new challenges to face, new habits to cultivate, and new behaviors to eliminate. But by approaching each day with the mindset of progress rather than perfection, you create a life that is rich in meaning, purpose, and fulfillment, a life that is guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. As you reflect on the year ahead, take the time to set your intentions for 2024. Consider the self-destructive behaviors you want to eliminate and the positive habits you want to cultivate. By setting clear, achievable goals and committing to steady progress, you set the stage for a year of growth, transformation, and fulfillment. The Stoics teach us that the power to change our lives lies within us, and that by embracing progress and letting go of the habits that hold us back, we can create a life that is truly worth living. As you move forward, carry with you the lessons of Stoicism, the wisdom of the ancients that still holds relevance today. Use these insights to guide your actions, your decisions, and your journey of self-improvement. By eliminating self-destructive behaviors and embracing the path of progress, you create a life that is not only successful, but also deeply meaningful, fulfilling, and aligned with your highest values. As you journey deeper into your exploration of Stoic wisdom, working to eliminate the self-destructive behaviors that hold you back, you may find yourself confronting a fundamental truth. The greatest challenge and the greatest opportunity lies in mastering your own mind. While external circumstances can be difficult to control, the Stoics believed that true power resides in the ability to govern your thoughts and emotions. But what does it mean to act as if you are in control? How can you, in a world full of uncertainties and challenges, truly take command of your inner world? The Stoics taught that while we may not control what happens to us, we do have control over how we respond. This understanding is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. By mastering your mind, your thoughts, emotions, and reactions, you can navigate life with a sense of calm, resilience, and clarity, no matter what external challenges arise. But this mastery is not something that happens overnight. It requires practice, intention, and the cultivation of specific Stoic techniques that empower you to take control of your inner experience. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of purpose, knowing that no matter what comes your way, you have the tools to maintain your inner peace and composure. You are no longer at the mercy of external events or the whims of your emotions. Instead, you act with deliberate intention, guided by the principles of Stoic wisdom. This sense of control is not about suppressing your emotions or denying your experiences. It's about learning to navigate them with grace and wisdom. One of the foundational practices of Stoic mind mastery is the art of cognitive distancing. This technique involves stepping back from your immediate thoughts and emotions, observing them without getting caught up in their intensity. By creating a mental space between yourself and your thoughts, you gain the ability to respond rather than react. This practice is akin to being the observer of your own mind, watching your thoughts and emotions as they arise, without identifying with them or allowing them to dictate your actions. Cognitive distancing is particularly powerful in moments of stress or emotional upheaval. When you find yourself overwhelmed by anger, fear, or anxiety, this practice allows you to pause and reflect before reacting. You begin to see your thoughts and emotions as temporary, passing phenomena rather than as truths that must be acted upon. This shift in perspective gives you the freedom to choose your response, aligning your actions with your values rather than with the fleeting impulses of the moment. Imagine you're in the midst of a tense conversation and suddenly a surge of anger wells up within you. Your first instinct might be to lash out or to defend yourself forcefully, but by employing cognitive distancing, you take a mental step back. You observe the anger without letting it control you. You ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What's really at stake here? This moment of pause gives you the clarity to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Instead of escalating the conflict, you might choose to listen more closely or to articulate your feelings in a way that aligns with your values of respect and understanding. Another essential Stoic practice for mastering your mind is the technique of reframing. Reframing involves changing the way you perceive and interpret events, particularly those that are challenging or difficult. The Stoics believed that events themselves are neutral. It is our interpretation of them that determines our experience. By consciously choosing to reframe a situation, you can transform a negative experience into a positive one, or at least into one that is less distressing. For example, imagine facing a setback at work, a project that didn't go as planned, or a goal that wasn't achieved. The initial reaction might be one of disappointment, frustration, or self-criticism. But by applying the Stoic practice of reframing, you can choose to see the setback as an opportunity for growth, a lesson in resilience, or a chance to improve your skills. This shift in perspective not only reduces the emotional impact of the setback, but also empowers you to take constructive action, turning a potential negative into a positive outcome. Reframing is not about denying reality or engaging in wishful thinking. It's about choosing a perspective that serves your growth and well-being. The Stoics taught that we always have the power to choose our response to any situation, and reframing is a key tool in exercising that power. By consistently practicing reframing, you cultivate a mindset that is resilient, adaptable, and focused on progress, regardless of external circumstances. Imagine encountering a traffic jam on your way to an important meeting. Your first thought might be frustration or anger at the delay, but by reframing the situation, you might see it as an opportunity to listen to a podcast you've been meaning to catch up on, or to practice patience and mindfulness in a situation beyond your control. This simple shift in perspective can transform a stressful experience into a moment of calm and productive reflection. In addition to cognitive distancing and reframing, the Stoics emphasized the importance of self-discipline as a cornerstone of mind mastery. Self-discipline involves the ability to control your impulses, desires, and actions, aligning them with your long-term goals and values rather than with short-term gratification. This practice is essential for maintaining control over your mind as it helps you to resist the temptations and distractions that can derail your progress. Self-discipline is not about rigid self-denial or harsh austerity. It's about making conscious choices that support your growth and well-being. The Stoics believed that by cultivating self-discipline, you develop the inner strength needed to face challenges with composure and to pursue your goals with determination. This practice requires consistent effort and mindfulness, but over time, it becomes a natural part of your approach to life. Imagine the power of starting each day with a clear sense of purpose and a commitment to self-discipline. You set your intentions for the day, prioritize your tasks, and follow through with focus and determination. When distractions or temptations arise, you acknowledge them without being swayed by them, staying true to your goals and values. This practice not only enhances your productivity and success, but also strengthens your sense of self-mastery, reinforcing the belief that you are in control of your mind and your life. Consider a scenario where you're tempted to procrastinate on a challenging task. The allure of a quick distraction, scrolling through social media or watching a video, seems appealing. But with self-discipline, you remind yourself of your long-term goals and the satisfaction that comes from completing the task at hand. You resist the temptation, focus on the work, and experience the reward of progress and accomplishment. Each time you choose discipline over distraction, you strengthen your ability to control your mind and actions, building a habit that supports your success. Another Stoic technique for mastering your mind is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment, aware of your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment or distraction. This practice helps you to cultivate a sense of inner calm and clarity, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with greater ease and resilience. Mindfulness is particularly valuable in moments of stress or emotional intensity. When you practice mindfulness, you create a mental space that allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without being overwhelmed by them. This space gives you the opportunity to choose your response rather than reacting impulsively. Over time, mindfulness becomes a powerful tool for maintaining control over your mind, helping you to stay grounded and centered even in the midst of chaos. The Stoics also believed in the importance of regularly reflecting on your thoughts and actions. This practice, often referred to as self-examination, involves taking time each day to review your experiences, assess your responses, and identify areas for improvement. By engaging in regular self-examination, you become more aware of your thought patterns and emotional triggers, allowing you to make conscious choices about how you respond to life's challenges. Self-examination is not about self-criticism or judgment, it's about learning and growth. The Stoics taught that by reflecting on your actions and thoughts, you gain insight into your strengths and weaknesses, allowing you to make adjustments and continue moving forward on your path of self-mastery. This practice helps you to stay aligned with your values and goals, ensuring that your actions are guided by wisdom rather than by impulse or habit. Imagine ending each day with a few moments of quiet reflection. You review your actions, considering where you succeeded in maintaining control and where you might have faltered. Instead of judging yourself harshly, you approach this reflection with curiosity and a desire to learn. You identify small adjustments you can make tomorrow, reinforcing your commitment to progress and self-mastery. This practice of daily reflection keeps you on track and helps you to continually refine your approach to life. Another powerful Stoic practice for mastering your mind is the cultivation of equanimity. Equanimity is the ability to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity, maintaining a sense of inner balance regardless of external circumstances. The Stoics believed that true strength lies not in avoiding challenges, but in facing them with courage and grace. Equanimity is cultivated through the consistent practice of Stoic principles, including cognitive distancing, reframing, self-discipline, and mindfulness. By integrating these practices into your daily life, you build the mental and emotional resilience needed to maintain equanimity in the face of life's challenges. This inner balance allows you to navigate difficult situations with clarity and confidence, making decisions that are aligned with your values and goals. Imagine the power of facing a difficult situation with a sense of calm and composure, knowing that you have the tools to maintain your inner peace regardless of the outcome. This is the essence of Stoic equanimity, remaining steady and focused, even when the world around you is in turmoil. By cultivating equanimity, you gain the ability to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom, acting with intention rather than reacting out of fear or anxiety. Equanimity also helps you to manage your expectations and reduce the emotional highs and lows that can come from attaching too much importance to external outcomes. By maintaining a balanced perspective, you avoid the extremes of elation or despair, instead fostering a steady state of contentment that is rooted in your own values and actions rather than in external circumstances. In addition to these practices, the Stoics also emphasize the importance of embracing impermanence as a key aspect of mind mastery. Impermanence refers to the understanding that all things, both good and bad, are temporary and subject to change. By embracing impermanence, you free yourself from the need to cling to the past or to fear the future, allowing you to live fully in the present moment. The Stoics taught that by accepting the impermanence of all things, you gain the ability to respond to life's challenges with a sense of detachment and perspective. This detachment does not mean indifference. Rather, it means that you are able to view events from a broader perspective, recognizing that they are part of the natural flow of life. This understanding allows you to maintain control over your mind, even in the face of uncertainty or change. Imagine the freedom that comes from embracing impermanence, knowing that both your successes and your challenges are temporary, and that the only constant is your own inner strength and resilience. This perspective allows you to approach life's challenges with a sense of curiosity and openness, rather than with fear or resistance. By embracing impermanence, you gain the ability to navigate life's ups and downs with a sense of calm and clarity, knowing that you have the power to control your mind and your responses. Another important Stoic practice for mastering your mind is the cultivation of gratitude. Gratitude involves focusing on the positive aspects of your life and appreciating the blessings and opportunities that you have. The Stoics believed that gratitude is a powerful tool for maintaining a positive and resilient mindset, as it helps to counterbalance negative thoughts and emotions. By regularly practicing gratitude, you shift your focus away from what is lacking or what could go wrong, and instead, you concentrate on the abundance and goodness in your life. This shift in perspective helps to create a sense of contentment and fulfillment, which in turn strengthens your ability to maintain control over your mind. Gratitude also fosters a sense of inner peace and well-being, making it easier to navigate life's challenges with a calm and positive mindset. Imagine starting each day with a focus on gratitude, taking a few moments to reflect on the things you are thankful for, whether it's your health, your relationships, or the opportunities that lie ahead. This practice not only sets a positive tone for your day, but also reinforces your ability to maintain control over your thoughts and emotions. By cultivating gratitude, you build a foundation of positivity and resilience that supports your journey of mind mastery. Consider how gratitude can transform your perspective on a difficult day. Instead of focusing on the challenges or frustrations, you make a conscious effort to identify and appreciate the positives, a kind word from a colleague, a moment of peace in nature, or simply the fact that you have the strength to face another day. This practice of gratitude shifts your focus from what is wrong to what is right, reinforcing your ability to maintain control over your mindset and emotions. Finally, one of the most powerful Stoic practices for mastering your mind is the cultivation of purpose. Purpose involves having a clear sense of direction and meaning in your life, knowing what you stand for and what you are working toward. The Stoics believed that a sense of purpose is essential for maintaining control over your mind, as it provides a guiding framework for your actions and decisions. By cultivating a sense of purpose, you gain the ability to stay focused and motivated, even in the face of challenges or setbacks. Your purpose serves as a compass, helping you to navigate life's complexities with a sense of clarity and determination. This sense of purpose not only strengthens your ability to control your mind, but also enhances your overall well-being and fulfillment. Imagine the power of living each day with a clear sense of purpose, knowing that your actions are aligned with your deepest values and goals. This sense of purpose provides you with the strength and resilience needed to face life's challenges with confidence, knowing that you are moving in the direction that is right for you. By cultivating purpose, you create a life that is rich in meaning, fulfillment, and inner peace. Purpose also helps you to prioritize your time and energy, ensuring that your actions are focused on what truly matters. When you are clear on your purpose, you are less likely to be swayed by distractions or to waste time on activities that do not serve your long-term goals. This clarity and focus further reinforce your ability to control your mind and to live in alignment with your values. The Stoic practices for mastering your mind are powerful tools for gaining control over your thoughts and emotions. By integrating techniques such as cognitive distancing, reframing, self-discipline, mindfulness, self-examination, equanimity, embracing impermanence, gratitude, and cultivating purpose, you build the foundation for a life of inner strength, resilience, and wisdom. These practices empower you to navigate life's challenges with a sense of calm and clarity, knowing that you have the tools to maintain control over your mind and your responses. As you continue on your Stoic journey, remember that mind mastery is not about achieving perfection, but about making steady progress toward greater self-awareness and self-control. By consistently practicing these Stoic techniques, you cultivate the inner strength needed to face life's challenges with courage and composure, creating a life that is truly aligned with your highest values and aspirations. Moreover, as you master your mind, you may find that your relationships and interactions with others also improve. When you are in control of your thoughts and emotions, you are better able to respond to others with empathy, understanding, and patience. This not only enhances your connections with others, but also creates a positive ripple effect, as your calm and composed demeanor influences those around you. In your professional life, mastering your mind can lead to greater success and fulfillment. When you are in control of your thoughts and emotions, you are better able to focus on your goals, make clear and informed decisions, and handle challenges with resilience. This mindset not only enhances your performance, but also contributes to a sense of satisfaction and achievement in your work. In your personal life, mind mastery allows you to live more fully in the present moment, free from the distractions of worry, regret, or fear. You are able to appreciate the simple joys of life, to cultivate meaningful relationships, and to pursue your passions with clarity and purpose. This sense of presence and fulfillment is a key component of a life well lived, and it is made possible by the Stoic practices of mind mastery. As you reflect on your journey of mastering your mind, take pride in the progress you have made. Each day that you practice these Stoic techniques, you are building the foundation for a life of greater self-awareness, resilience, and fulfillment. The path of mind mastery is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding as it empowers you to live in alignment with your values and to create a life that is truly your own. Finally, remember that mind mastery is an ongoing process, one that requires patience, persistence, and self-compassion. There will be moments of challenge and moments of growth, but each step forward is a victory in itself. By embracing the Stoic practices of mind mastery, you are taking control of your inner world and creating a life that is rich in meaning, purpose, and inner peace. As you move forward on your Stoic journey, carry with you the wisdom and practices that have guided you thus far. Use these tools to navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, knowing that you have the power to control your mind and to shape your life according to your highest values and aspirations. By mastering your mind, you are not only creating a life of fulfillment and purpose, but also contributing to a world that is more compassionate, resilient, and wise. As you deepen your understanding of Stoic philosophy, mastering your mind and emotions, you begin to realize that true fulfillment in life is not just about personal growth or internal strength. It's also about the connections you forge with others. Relationships, after all, are an integral part of what it means to be human. They shape our experiences, challenge our perspectives, and provide us with the support and love we need to thrive. But how do you build relationships that are not only strong, but also enduring? How do you apply Stoic principles to create bonds that stand the test of time, filled with mutual respect, understanding, and shared purpose? In a world where relationships can often feel fragile and fleeting, the wisdom of the Stoics offers a path to deeper, more meaningful connections. They teach us that relationships built on superficiality or self-interest are unlikely to last, but those rooted in virtue, compassion, and mutual respect can endure through the inevitable challenges of life. The Stoics remind us that strong relationships are not just about what we can gain from others, but about what we can give, how we can support, uplift, and grow alongside those we care about. Imagine the impact of approaching your relationships with the same intention and mindfulness that you apply to mastering your mind. What if, instead of reacting impulsively or allowing misunderstandings to fester, you could bring a sense of calm and wisdom to your interactions with others? What if you could create relationships that are not only resilient in the face of challenges, but also a source of deep fulfillment and joy? One of the core Stoic principles that can transform your relationships is the practice of empathy. Empathy involves truly understanding and sharing the feelings of another person. It's about stepping into their shoes, seeing the world through their eyes, and responding with compassion and understanding. The Stoics believed that by cultivating empathy, you can build stronger, more meaningful connections with others, as it allows you to communicate more effectively, resolve conflicts peacefully, and support your loved ones in times of need. Empathy is not just about listening to someone's words, it's about tuning into their emotions and intentions. When you practice empathy, you become more attuned to the needs and feelings of those around you, allowing you to respond in ways that strengthen your bond and build trust. For example, in a moment of disagreement with a friend or partner, rather than focusing on winning the argument or proving your point, you might choose to listen deeply to their perspective, trying to understand where they are coming from. This act of empathy can dissolve tension and create a space for mutual understanding and respect. Another Stoic principle that is essential for building lasting relationships is the practice of humility. Humility involves recognizing that you do not have all the answers, that you can learn from others, and that you are not infallible. In relationships, humility allows you to approach others with an open mind and heart, ready to learn, grow, and change. It also helps you to avoid the pitfalls of pride and ego, which can often lead to conflicts and misunderstandings. Humility in relationships means being willing to admit when you are wrong, to apologize when you have hurt someone, and to seek forgiveness when necessary. It's about valuing the relationship more than your need to be right or to maintain a certain image. By practicing humility, you create a foundation of trust and respect in your relationships, as others feel safe to be themselves around you, knowing that they will be met with understanding and acceptance. Imagine a situation where a colleague points out a mistake you've made on a project. Instead of becoming defensive or trying to justify your actions, you might respond with humility, acknowledging the mistake and expressing your willingness to correct it. This response not only shows that you value their input, but also strengthens your professional relationship, as it demonstrates your commitment to growth and collaboration. Another Stoic lesson for building strong relationships is the practice of patience. Relationships are not always easy. They require time, effort, and sometimes a great deal of patience. The Stoics taught that patience is essential for navigating the ups and downs of relationships, as it allows you to remain calm and composed even in difficult situations. Patience helps you to avoid reacting impulsively or making decisions that you might later regret. In moments of conflict or tension, patience gives you the space to reflect before responding, to consider the other person's perspective, and to approach the situation with a clear mind. This practice not only helps to prevent unnecessary arguments, but also fosters a sense of stability and trust in your relationships, as others know that they can count on you to handle challenges with grace and understanding. Imagine you're in a heated discussion with a close friend. Emotions are running high, and it's tempting to respond in the heat of the moment. But by practicing patience, you take a deep breath, give yourself a moment to think, and then respond calmly. This pause allows the conversation to move forward constructively rather than escalating into a conflict. Patience in this way becomes a tool for maintaining harmony and connection in your relationships. Forgiveness is another Stoic principle that plays a crucial role in building lasting relationships. The Stoics believed that holding on to anger or resentment only harms the person who harbors it, not the one who caused the harm. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is a powerful act of letting go, of releasing the negative emotions that can weigh you down and damage your relationships. By practicing forgiveness, you free yourself from the burden of grudges and create space for healing and renewal in your relationships. Forgiveness does not mean excusing bad behavior or forgetting what happened. It means choosing to move forward without allowing the past to dictate your present. It's about recognizing that everyone makes mistakes and that holding on to anger or resentment does more harm than good. By practicing forgiveness, you demonstrate your commitment to the relationship and your willingness to work through challenges together. Imagine a situation where a family member has said something hurtful to you. Instead of letting the hurt fester or allowing it to create distance between you, you choose to forgive them, understanding that their words may have been spoken in a moment of stress or frustration. This act of forgiveness not only helps to mend the relationship, but also strengthens it, as it shows that you value the connection more than the momentary hurt. Another Stoic lesson for building strong relationships is the practice of clear and honest communication. The Stoics believed in the importance of speaking truthfully and with integrity, as clear communication is the foundation of trust in any relationship. When you communicate openly and honestly, you create a space where both you and the other person can express your thoughts, feelings, and needs without fear of judgment or misunderstanding. Honest communication involves not only speaking your truth, but also listening actively and openly to the other person. It's about being present in the conversation, truly hearing what the other person is saying and responding thoughtfully. This practice helps to prevent misunderstandings, build trust, and create a deeper sense of connection in your relationships. Imagine you're discussing a sensitive issue with your partner. Rather than avoiding the topic or speaking in vague terms, you choose to communicate openly and honestly about your feelings. You express your thoughts clearly, but also listen attentively to their perspective. This approach fosters a deeper understanding between you and strengthens the trust that is essential for a lasting relationship. Another key Stoic principle that can enhance your relationships is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude involves appreciating the positive aspects of your relationships and expressing that appreciation to those you care about. Ripple effect of positive change. Continue to integrate these principles into your daily life, and you'll discover that empathy and compassion become natural extensions of your character. You'll find greater fulfillment in your interactions and a deeper sense of connection with those around you. The journey of Stoicism is not just about personal growth, but also about enriching the lives of others. Keep moving forward with empathy and compassion, and let these qualities guide you towards a life of meaningful connection and positive impact. With a deepened sense of empathy and compassion, the next step in your journey is to integrate Stoicism into your daily life. Practicing Stoicism every day helps you stay grounded, resilient, and aligned with your values. This chapter will guide you through practical Stoic practices that can transform your everyday experience. One of the most effective ways to start your day with Stoicism is by establishing a morning routine. A good morning routine sets the tone for the rest of the day, helping you begin with intention and focus. Begin each morning with a few moments of quiet reflection. This can be as simple as sitting in silence, taking deep breaths, and setting your intentions for the day. Consider what virtues you want to embody, such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. A powerful morning practice is journaling. Spend a few minutes writing down your thoughts, goals, and reflections. You might start with a Stoic quote that resonates with you and reflect on its meaning and relevance to your life. Journaling helps you clarify your thoughts, reinforce your intentions, and prepare mentally for the day ahead. It's a practice that connects you with your inner self and aligns your actions with your values. Another essential Stoic practice is negative visualization. This involves imagining potential challenges or setbacks you might face during the day. The goal is not to dwell on negativity, but to mentally prepare yourself for difficulties. By visualizing these scenarios, you can think about how you would respond with Stoic virtues. This preparation helps you stay calm and composed when challenges arise, knowing that you have already considered and planned your response. Throughout your day, practice mindfulness. Being mindful means being fully present. Have you ever felt like life is just passing you by and you're not living up to your full potential? Do you ever wonder if there's a way to take control of your emotions and transform your life for the better? Welcome to a journey that could change everything. This isn't just about learning an ancient philosophy. It's about finding practical tools that can reshape your mind, your actions, and ultimately, your life. Stoicism isn't just an old, dusty philosophy. It's a powerful guide for living a fulfilled life, full of purpose and resilience. Imagine waking up every day with a sense of calm, no matter what challenges lie ahead. Imagine being able to face difficulties with strength and clarity, without being overwhelmed by stress or negative emotions. This is what Stoicism offers, and today you're going to discover how to make it a reality in your life. Stoicism originated in ancient Greece and was later adopted by the Romans. It was a way of life practiced by some of the greatest minds in history, like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. These men faced incredible challenges, and yet maintained a sense of inner peace and strength. How did they do it? Through the principles of Stoicism, which teach us to focus on what we can control, accept what we cannot, and cultivate an inner strength that nothing can shake. The first step in this journey is understanding that we often give too much power to things outside of our control. We worry about what others think of us, we stress over outcomes that we can't predict, and we allow our emotions to be swayed by external events. Stoicism teaches us to shift our focus inward, to recognize that our true power lies in our responses, not in the events themselves. This is called the dichotomy of control. Think about the last time you were stressed or upset. What caused it? Was it something someone said or did? Was it an unexpected problem at work or a personal setback? Now ask yourself, did getting upset help in any way? Did it solve the problem or make you feel better? Chances are it didn't. This is because we often react emotionally to things we can't control, rather than focusing on what we can do to improve the situation. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is that we should only concern ourselves with what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes. Everything else is beyond our control, and therefore not worth our emotional energy. This might sound simple, but it's incredibly powerful. By shifting our focus to what we can control, we take back our power and reduce unnecessary stress and anxiety. Let's dive deeper into this concept. Imagine you're stuck in traffic and you're running late for an important meeting. Your immediate reaction might be frustration and stress. You might start to worry about the consequences of being late. But here's the thing, you can't control the traffic. No amount of worrying will make it move faster. What you can control is your response. You can choose to stay calm, use the time to listen to a podcast, or even just breathe deeply and accept the situation. This shift in focus not only reduces stress, but also allows you to think more clearly and make better decisions. Another key principle of Stoicism is accepting what we cannot change. This doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It means recognizing the reality of the situation and choosing how to respond to it. Acceptance is not about resignation, but about understanding the limits of our control and making peace with them. When we accept what we cannot change, we free ourselves from the frustration and disappointment that come from trying to control the uncontrollable. Think about a recent challenge you faced. Maybe it was a health issue, a financial problem, or a relationship conflict. How much of your energy went into resisting the reality of the situation? How much time did you spend wishing things were different, rather than focusing on what you could do to improve your circumstances? Acceptance allows us to redirect our energy towards productive actions, rather than wasting it on futile resistance. Stoicism also teaches us the importance of inner strength and resilience. Life is unpredictable, and we will inevitably face difficulties and setbacks. But we have the power to choose how we respond to these challenges. We can let them defeat us, or we can use them as opportunities to grow and become stronger. Resilience is not about avoiding pain, but about learning to endure and overcome it. Consider the story of Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. Despite his difficult circumstances, he maintained a sense of inner strength and calm. He understood that while he couldn't control his external situation, he could control his mind and his responses. His teachings remind us that true power comes from within, not from our external circumstances. Stoicism encourages us to live with purpose and intention. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life and lose sight of what truly matters. Stoicism reminds us to focus on our values and to live in alignment with them. It encourages us to set meaningful goals and to pursue them with determination and discipline. When we live with purpose, we find greater fulfillment and satisfaction in our lives. Take a moment to reflect on your life. Are you living according to your values? Do you have clear goals that give your life direction and meaning? If not, Stoicism can help you find that clarity and purpose. It can guide you to set priorities and to take consistent, purposeful actions towards your goals. Finally, Stoicism teaches us to cultivate gratitude and appreciation for what we have. It's easy to focus on what we lack or what we wish were different, but this only leads to dissatisfaction and unhappiness. By focusing on what we have and appreciating the present moment, we can find contentment and joy in our lives. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to negativity and can transform our perspective. As we embark on this journey through Stoicism, remember that it's not just about learning new ideas, but about applying them in your life. It's about taking practical steps to change your mindset, your actions, and ultimately, your life. Stoicism offers a path to greater peace, strength, and fulfillment. So, let's dive in and discover how this ancient philosophy can transform your life today. Imagine waking up each morning feeling a sense of peace and readiness to take on whatever the day brings. You have a clear mind, a strong heart, and a steady resolve. This is the power of understanding and applying the core principles of Stoicism. It's not just about philosophical musings, it's about real, tangible transformation in your everyday life. The origins of Stoicism take us back to ancient Greece, where a man named Zeno of Citium founded this philosophy around 300 BCE. Zeno started his teachings in Athens after losing his wealth in a shipwreck. Instead of being consumed by despair, he turned to philosophy, seeking wisdom on how to live a good life. His teachings laid the foundation for what would become a way of life that could endure the test of time. As we look deeper into Stoicism, we find four central virtues that guide this philosophy: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues are not abstract concepts, but practical guides that can help us navigate the complexities of life. Wisdom is about understanding the world and our place in it. It's about making good judgments and seeing things clearly. In your daily life, wisdom can be as simple as taking a moment to think before you act, seeking to understand different perspectives, and learning from your experiences. When you cultivate wisdom, you make better decisions that lead to a more fulfilling life. Courage is not just about facing physical danger. It's about having the inner strength to stand up for what is right, to pursue your goals despite obstacles, and to be true to yourself even when it's difficult. Think about a time when you felt afraid, but chose to act anyway. That's courage. Every day presents opportunities to be courageous, whether it's speaking up in a meeting, standing by your values, or pushing through a tough situation. Justice in Stoicism means living with fairness and integrity. It's about treating others with respect and kindness, doing what is right even when no one is watching, and contributing positively to your community. Imagine a world where everyone practiced justice, where people were kind, fair, and honest. You can be a part of creating that world by embodying these principles in your interactions with others. Temperance is about self-control and moderation. It's about finding balance in life, avoiding excess, and being disciplined in your actions. In a world that often encourages indulgence and excess, temperance reminds us of the value of simplicity and restraint. Think about how good you feel when you make healthy choices, when you spend your time and energy on things that truly matter. Temperance helps you focus on what's important and avoid distractions that lead to stress and dissatisfaction. Now, let's consider how these virtues can transform your daily life. Each morning, you can set an intention to practice these virtues throughout your day. Start your day with a moment of reflection. Think about the challenges you might face and how you can apply wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance to handle them. For example, if you know you have a difficult conversation coming up, Prepare yourself by thinking about how you can approach it with wisdom, considering the other person's perspective and seeking a constructive outcome. Use courage to face the conversation head-on, even if it's uncomfortable. Apply justice by being fair and respectful in your words, and use temperance to stay calm and composed, avoiding emotional outbursts. Throughout your day, remind yourself of these virtues. When you're faced with a decision, ask yourself, what would wisdom guide me to do? How can I be courageous in this moment? What is the just and fair action to take? Am I exercising self-control and balance? This practice not only helps you make better decisions, but also builds your character over time. You start to embody these virtues, making them a natural part of who you are. People around you will notice the change. They will see your calm demeanor, your thoughtful actions, and your integrity. This can inspire them to practice these virtues as well, creating a ripple effect of positive change. Stoicism teaches us that we don't have to be victims of our circumstances. We have the power to choose our responses and shape our lives. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we reclaim our power and build a strong foundation for a fulfilling life. Think about a time when you felt out of control, overwhelmed by external events. It might have been a job loss, a relationship breakup, or a health crisis. Now, imagine facing that same situation with the principles of Stoicism. Instead of being overwhelmed, you would focus on what you can control. You would use wisdom to understand the situation, courage to face it, justice to act with integrity, and temperance to stay balanced. This doesn't mean you won't feel pain or discomfort. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions, but about managing them effectively. It's about acknowledging your feelings, understanding them, and choosing how to respond. By practicing Stoicism, you build emotional resilience. You learn to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and strength. Consider the example of Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who faced immense challenges during his reign. Despite the pressures of his position, he practiced Stoicism daily, writing down his thoughts and reflections in what is now known as meditations. His writings reveal a man committed to living a virtuous life, even in the face of adversity. He focused on what he could control, his thoughts and actions, and remained steadfast in his principles. You too can practice Stoicism in your daily life. Start by integrating small practices that align with the virtues. Begin your day with a moment of reflection or meditation, setting your intentions for the day. Throughout the day, pause and check in with yourself, especially when you're facing challenges. Ask yourself how you can apply wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance in each situation. At the end of the day, take a few moments to reflect on your actions. What went well? Where did you struggle? How can you improve tomorrow? This practice of daily reflection helps you stay mindful of your progress and reinforces your commitment to Stoic principles. By embracing Stoicism, you open yourself up to a new way of living. You find strength in your challenges, clarity in your decisions, and peace in your heart. You become a beacon of calm and resilience in a chaotic world. And most importantly, you live a life that is true to your values and full of purpose. As we continue our journey into Stoicism, it's time to explore how we can master our minds. The mind is incredibly powerful, capable of both creating our greatest triumphs and leading us into deep despair. The key to harnessing this power lies in understanding the dichotomy of control, a fundamental Stoic concept that teaches us to differentiate between what we can and cannot control. Imagine being in a situation where everything seems to be falling apart. Your plans aren't working out, unexpected problems keep popping up, and you feel overwhelmed. It's easy to get caught up in the chaos and let your emotions take over. But what if you could find a way to stay calm, focused, and effective, no matter what's happening around you? This is what mastering the mind through Stoicism offers. The dichotomy of control teaches us that we should focus only on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. Everything else is beyond our control, including other people's opinions, the past, and the future. By shifting our focus to what we can control, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety. Consider a recent situation where you felt stressed or anxious. What were you focusing on? Was it something you could control, like your response or actions? Or was it something beyond your control, like another person's behavior or an unpredictable event? By redirecting your focus to what you can control, you reclaim your power and reduce your stress. One practice